Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sidebusters.
Line drive, left field, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes his second run home, and the Sidebusters have the lead.
Us Hastings kids, we kind of have our own little crowd going on in the corner, so it's been a blast.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Called strike 3, and the Sidebusters are out of trouble in the 7th.
I kind of get what's expected, and we're supposed to do it the right way, everything else, but at the end of the day, it is summer baseball, and we're here to improve every day, but also have a lot of fun.
Sidebuster Baseball.
Previously in the summer, I got to play with a kid from Japan, so that's a cool connection there. And it's just nice getting to know everybody and seeing what they like. Kind of maybe they show me something that I'll like and enjoy and take on for the rest of my life. You never know.
Swing and a miss. And the Hastings Sidebusters have won for the 3rd time in a row.
You got to make sure you have your composure and stay true to who you are up there. You got to be able to know what kind of baseball player you are, and you got to play to your strengths.
The Hastings Sidebusters.
Welcome to Duncan Field. It's a 3-game weekend series, 9 innings of winning tonight as the Hastings Sidebusters getting set to go. They're going to be battling out against the OAHE Zap. First meeting here in Hastings between these two teams after the Sidebusters have won 4 out of 6 against the Zap up in Pierre. Should be a fun one tonight, and we are going to have a player profile, the Hastings Sidebuster Spotlight. When we come back, Ryan Valenta here's from Luke Wenzel, and this is Sidebuster Baseball. All right, 1 minute.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Episode of Sidebuster Spotlight is with Sidebuster reliever Luke Wenzel, and talking to him today in the conclusion of a pretty darn good performance, 3 scoreless innings. Luke, everything seemed to be going for you on the mound today. A couple of 1, 2, 3 innings. You loaded the base in the one, but got out of that. Talk to us what was working on the mound for you today.
Honestly, I thought my slider today was probably my best pitch out there. I haven't had command of it in the recent times, but made a little bit of adjustment, focal point, and it started to break a lot more for me and get batters out. So that was probably my biggest adjustment, and my fastball command was here today.
And let's talk about command. You know, I hate to bring it up, but been a guy he's struggled with command. This 21 hit batters, you know, I hate to see that number. What?
Don't forget about the 18 watts.
Yeah,
now it's like
and all the guys are laughing at us over here now. But so what's been the struggle for you with your command this season? What are you trying something new, or what's been this so far?
I've always been over the top with a little bit like a low 3/4 slot, and my arm was just it was hurting a lot in college, and my coach made me switch down to sidearm and submarine. I didn't feel any more pain anymore, but it was really hard to command. I feel like it honestly was kind of like picking up a baseball for the first time and trying to go out there and pitch. I have the mechanics, but just the arm slot and having to change all my focal points and muscle memory and all that stuff. And I think it's starting to come along now, especially towards the end of the season, but I wish I'd been able to throw more in college with the sidearm started in fall instead of late spring.
Does it feel like maybe this outing kind of gives you a pathway of what you need to do for the rest of the games here this season?
It definitely gives me a lot more confidence knowing like I have the command in me and I can actually throw strikes and throw the ball where I want to. I just got to make sure I keep what I did today going and make sure I repeat the outings.
So you're from Milwaukee and you're now find yourself at college at Iowa Western. Talk about how you made that trek from the north down to the Midwest.
So I always knew I was probably going to go play JUCO ball, and I always wanted to play at a high-level one. And my coach, my travel team owner now, he was my coach for a while. He knew the old pitching coach, Dylan Napoleon, at Iowa Western, and he got me a little hookup, sent some videos over there, and they were able to see me pitch. And I went on a visit over there, met Mark Rudin, who was the coach there for 20 years, and just fell in love with the school, fell in love with all of the facilities they got, and just how nice of a person he was, and how he treated his players and how much he pushed them and all. So that was just the main thing for me. I just fell in love with the school right away.
Got a couple of guys on this Sodbuster roster too that are Reavers with you at Iowa Western.
Yeah,
Tanner and Ando. How about playing with them here this summer? Does that give you a little bit more, or I guess at the start of the season, did that make it a little easier to kind of settle in with the Sodbusters?
It definitely was. Tanner was my roommate at Iowa Western, and Ando was right next door. So us three, we did a lot of stuff together. And even with the struggle, those two were definitely my biggest supporters, giving me more confidence, making me stay confident in myself and stuff. And when I was struggling, they would give me a lot of tips because they knew me better than anyone else. So it's definitely nice to have those two on the roster.
So you're just at a community college right now. Education-wise, what interests you, and what do you think you might want to do after college?
So I actually just switched my major. I'm going to go into physical therapy. So I'm going to go into pre-PT. This year, finish exercise science degree, associates, and then go into pre-PT wherever I transfer after.
So do you have an idea of where you might like to transfer, or you think you still got to work some couple things out on the mound before you find that right school?
Definitely got to work a few things on the mound. I have ideas if baseball doesn't work out after this year. Probably, if not, go to Lincoln. But try to find exactly the right fit for me, wherever that is.
All right, so you're a Milwaukee guy, and they've got a pretty good baseball team up there. So were you born and raised there? Have you been a Milwaukee guy your whole life?
So I was born just right outside of Milwaukee in a town called Brookfield, Wisconsin. And I've been a Milwaukee guy. Besides baseball and football, I'm a Dodgers fan, actually, and a New York Giants fan. But I do rep the Bucks all the time, so.
Where do you get the Dodgers and the Giants from?
I don't know. I think it's just when I was young, just because they're a dark shade of blue. I know the Brewers are blue, too, but I just always liked them when I was young and just stuck with them my whole life.
Have there been any pitcher idols you have growing up, or are there current guys that you like in the major leagues right now, and who are those guys?
Definitely Clayton Kershaw. He's been my favorite player ever since I've been growing up. I know I can't idolize him because he's a lefty or can't match his stuff, but I've just always watched him and watched how he carries himself on the mound and just how much passion he has for the game. So he's just always been my favorite player growing up.
Okay, first summer playing ball, how's it been? You're here in central Nebraska. This is a town of just a few thousand here. Overall thoughts, memories you've made, connections you made here with the Sodbusters this summer?
Definitely made a lot of new friends here. All the guys are super nice, and we all have just the same goal in mind, just to get better every single day. And it's just nice to be around a team atmosphere and have a crowd behind you. I've never really played with a crowd behind me besides in the high school playoffs, and even then it wasn't compared to this. The fans give us so much support even through the struggles, and that's just a big hype up for me and a big hype up for their guys. So that's probably one of the best memories is having a crowd behind you.
Gotta know, it's a Nebraska tradition. Runza and Valentino's, two of the biggest restaurants here. What are your take on those two restaurants? You a fan, not a fan, somewhere in between?
So I really like Valentino's. I go up there with my girlfriend to the one in Columbus, and I'm a big fan of their pizza, and I do really like their Cinna Twists. Those are very, very good. The Runza itself, I'm not a huge fan of, but I do really like their burgers and their fries. So I will give them that. They have really good burgers.
You sound just like every guy that comes in Nebraska. I like Runza, but I don't like the Runzas. I'm just giving you a hard time. We'll give you a break there. All right, and last question. You hear the guys behind you, Weasel. Have you had that nickname for a while, or was this guys that
this year at Iowa Western? One of my teammates gave it to me. He heard my last name. He was like, "This dude's a weasel," and ever since then it just stuck.
Did you like the nickname, or have you been trying to get rid of it, or have you just accepted it?
I've just accepted it. My coach at Iowa Western called me it. I just stuck with it.
All right. Anything else we should know about the great Luke Wenzel here for the Sodbusters?
Just a clown. That's it. Just a clown on the mound, a clown in general. Tanner can attest to that.
Luke Wenzel, he's having fun here in Hastings in his first summer ball experience. This is Sodbuster Spotlight. I'm Ryan Valenta.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Welcome back to Duncan Field. It is Sodbuster Baseball, a weekend series as Hastings getting set to go against the OAHE Zap. Hastings Sodbusters coming off a doubleheader sweep at the hands of the Nebraska Prospects in their most recent outing. They're now 8-30 overall, 2-11 in the second half, 3-18 here at home. The OAHE Zap, one of the hotter teams in the second half, 8-7 after a real struggle in the first half of the season. They're 13-29, and I don't know about you, Ryan Valenta, but it's exciting to see somebody new come to the ballpark.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've had to put in a new team on my sheet, but it was definitely a good feeling to have a new team come into town, and especially I don't want to say that the Sodbusters, they have struggled, but this is a team that they're facing that has also struggled. So kind of in the same boat. And if you look at the stats, the Zap and the Sodbusters, their most problematic area is the pitching. High ERA for both teams. So it is really going to be probably an offensive shootout with both teams, as Sodbusters and Zap will have a 3-game series, and we'll have lots more to cover here coming up.
Should be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. First of all, for the Sodbusters, Taylor Gale will lead off and play second base. Lane Shires in center field and batting second. Cale Jensen, the left fielder, batting third. It's Marcos Cabranes, the catcher. He's batting fourth. Nick Jones, DH, batting fifth for the Sodbusters. Then it's Anthony Chavez at third base. Landon Gaz is the first baseman for the Sodbusters, followed by Josh Printer at shortstop, and Kyle Hiltbrand is the right fielder. Dalton Juden is the pitcher for the Hastings Sodbusters. For the OAHE Zap, Trevor Seagraves leads off and plays second base. Jackson Mix is the DH. He is batting second. Kyle Mamarian is the shortstop and batting third. Jacob Trusner at first base, batting fourth. Batting fifth is Trenton Dukeshire. He is playing the catcher spot for the OAHE Zap. Preston Lau is in right field. Andrew Beavers is at third base. Gage Huffman will be the center fielder. Tyler Traphagen in left field, and their ace, Caleb Hay, will take the mound for the OAHE Zap. The Hastings Sodbusters under the direction of Joel Skipper, his first year with the program. He's the Hastings College coach. His assistant coaches are Vinny Carone, pitching coach, and Corey Caranda, his graduate assistant at Hastings College and helping out the program this year. The OAHE Zap under the direction of Jamie Habiger. Jamie, head coach, he's from South Dakota, coached the Pierre Trappers prior to this, so he's used to summer ball in South Dakota, but he actually lives in Sacramento, California, after playing baseball and rugby at Sacramento State in the early 90s. He played some independent ball for the Tahoe Twins in Reno, Nevada, before heading into education. He's a teacher, high school teacher out there. What a way to spend your summer, coaching a bunch of college-age kids, and has really done a nice job getting them going here in the second half. Should be a lot of fun as the Hastings Sodbusters and the OAHE Zap getting set to go. Some of the numbers for this game: Sodbusters hitting .243, a team RF 4.88. And the OAHE Zap, a team batting average of .288, so they can swing it a little bit. But their team ERA at 6.95, so they have struggled on the mound, much like Sodbusters at times this year. Let's take it down to the field and get you our national anthem.
By One Great Nutrition and Bo Huffman, a Navy veteran. Tonight's anthem will be performed by Emma Bullerman.
Oh, say, can you see broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Emma, the featured national anthem performer here today. I tell you what, Jason Fruit does a good job of finding those voices, and that's another fine rendition here today in advance of the Sodbusters and the Zap. Sodbusters taking the field behind Dalton Juden. Their catcher is Marcos Cabranes. Playing first base, Landon Gaz. At second, it's Taylor Gill. The third baseman for the Hastings Sodbusters, Anthony Chavez. Shortstop, Josh Printer. The outfield left to right, Cale Jensen, Lane Shires, and Kyle Hiltbrandt. Dalton Juden on the mound for the Hastings Sodbusters. He's 3-4, a 4.30 ERA, making his ninth start as a team leading 42 and a third innings thrown. He's allowed 33 runs, 26 of those earned. He's allowed 51 hits, struck out 34 and walked 17. He's hit 11. Struggled in his last outing against a very good Badlands team on Friday. Went 4 2/3 innings, allowing 7 runs, 5 of those earned, allowed 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 walks. When he is on, he is pretty good, and it should be a pretty good pitching matchup between two teams which have struggled pitching. We'll have to see how it goes today, Ryan Valenta.
Yep, and for Dalton, he'll look for a bounce-back performance like we mentioned. And it's been 4 starts since Dalton's had a scoreless outing, and that was on June 11th against this team in OAHE, who he has actually faced twice. In his 2 starts against OAHE, 13 2/3 innings pitched, a combined just 5 runs allowed between those 2 innings, including that scoreless one. So for Juden, he will try and set the Sodbuster tone early. Like we said, this is a OAHE team that ranks dead last in every pitching category except strikeouts, where they are second to last in least strikeouts. So get your zeros on the board if you're the Sodbuster defense and go to town against this Zap pitching staff this weekend.
And the Sodbusters, they are 4-2 against the OAHE Zap. They have 4 wins against the rest of the league, so have done very well, winning 2 out of 3 in 2 different series up in Pierre. We'll have to see how it goes today, but like I said, they're playing a team that's been hot, as the Zap coming off another win over Fremont, a team the Sodbusters just cannot beat. But the Zap beat Fremont in walk-off fashion in 10 innings on Wednesday by a score of 8-7. Trevor Seagrave steps to the plate for the OAHE Zap, second baseman, as he will step in the powder blue uniforms, almost throwback to the Kansas City Royals, but a little bit lighter shade perhaps, as the pitch outside for ball 1, 1 ball, and no strikes on Seagraves. Against Hastings this year, he has struggled. 1 out of 13. Had a hit in the 3rd game of the 6 games played this year. That is his only safety against the Sodbusters, and quickly 2 balls and no strikes. And Dalton trying to bring it over here. Throwing strike 1, so important for a lot of pitchers, and that one is on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. It's Tim Stroman and Jake Yeager, the umpires here today, with the wind blowing from the left field corner to the right field corner. Pitch just a little bit outside. 3-1 on Seagraves. 367 on the right field line, 370 to left, 405 to the alleys, 408 to center field here at Duncan Field. 3-1 pitch. Off the fist, 1 hopper. Sodbusters pick it up. A little bit of a low throw there, but Taylor Gill able to get it over to first, and Landon Gaz fields it cleanly. 1 out here in the 1st inning.
Just about to mention, you don't want leadoff walks. If there's one thing that's come back to haunt the Sodbusters time after time this season, it is lead-off walks. Good job by Dalton to get that pitch over the zone and induce a soft ground out there.
Here comes Jackson Mix. He'll step in the left-handed box. He's the DH today. Jackson Mix out of Georgia Southern Wesleyan University, as the pitch is way inside. 1 ball and no strike. on Mix. Hitting .285 against the Sodbusters this year, 4 out of 14, including a 3-hit game. Went 3 for 5 with a double in the last meeting between these two teams. The pitch is taken way outside, 2 balls and no strikes. That last meeting back on June 18th, Sodbusters ran away with that one 12-3. Here's the 2-0 delivery. Pitch is inside. It's now 3 balls and no strikes. Sodbusters played the 16th, 17th, and 18th up in Pier. Dropped a tough one in the opener, 3-2, despite out hitting the Zap 9-5, but bounced back with a vengeance, 11-6, and the aforementioned 12-3. And now a 4-pitch walk issued to Jackson Mix. 1 on, 1 out, no score. Top of the first 9-inning contest here. 9 innings of winning for folks in attendance today. And it looks like it's a decent crowd filling in anticipation of a fun night of baseball and a chance to win some $4,000 worth of prizes. Here's Kyle Mamarian, shortstop, stepping in. Mamarian takes it right over for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Kyle Mamarian. Mamarian against the Sodbusters this year has been pretty good. 7 out of 18 for .389. Has 1 multi-hit game, including a 3-hit contest as he throws it over to first base. Does Juden, and back in safely is Jackson Mix. This OAHE Zap, similar steal numbers to the Sodbusters. They're 58 out of 74 in stolen bases this year. 0-1 delivery on the way, and bounce to the left side, could be 2. Printer over to second for 1, to first, in time. The Sodbusters get off the field on a 6-4-3 twin killing. Printer to Gill, to Gas, and nothing happening in the first for the Zap. No runs, no hits, nobody left. We're to the bottom half of inning number 1. Zap nothing, Sodbusters coming up, and this is Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen, a tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Head to the bottom half of inning number 1, Hastings Sodbusters and the OAHE Zap. And the Zap going to go with their ace today. 20 innings thrown for Caleb Hay. He is 2-0, and his ERA at 1.80 as he has allowed only 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 10 hits, making his 4th start today. 22 strikeouts, just 4 walks, and a hit batsman. So we talked about the struggles of the Zap pitching, but oh my goodness, this guy is the real deal. He has been outstanding. And much like Dalton Juden has been very, very good against OAHE, Caleb Hay has been very good against the league so far this year. And we'll see what the Sodbusters can get done against this Zap squad. As the catcher is Trenton Dukeshire. The first baseman is Jacob Trusner. Rest of the defense, second base, it's Trevor Seagraves. At third base, Andrew Beavers. Shortstop is Kyle Mamarian. In left field, it's Tyler Traphagen. In center field, Gage Huffman. And in right field, Preston Lau. Hope you enjoy today's matchup between the Sodbusters and the Zap. Bottom half of inning number 1, and we'll see Taylor Gill step to the plate. Gill, relative newcomer, just playing in his 4th game. 3 out of 12 in his first series. Went 2 for 6 on Tuesday. A couple of runs scored as the Sodbusters blew out the Nebraska Prospects that day. Here's the pitch, and this one, first pitch bouncer to the right side. Charging, fielding, throwing, in time. Good job, Trevor Seagraves. 1 pitch, 1 out. Taylor Gill is gone. Here comes Lane Shires for the Hastings Sodbusters. Lane has gotten it going up to 254 on the year with a triple, a double. He's knocked in 12 and scored 12 times. Also 4 for 4 in stolen bases. As did a good job against Nebraska. The Prospects went 4 for 9 in that 3-game series. Bunts it here. Could be trouble. Pitcher picks it up. Barehanded throw, and well played by Caleb Hay. So There's 2 pitches and 2 outs, and now the Sodbusters need to extend an at-bat here. Otherwise, they send Dalton Jude out almost immediately, almost before he even got to the dugout. So 4-3 and 1-3 the putouts here in the bottom of the first.
That pitch from Hay at 89 miles an hour, and that helps to, with a very well-placed bunt by Shires, to have that 89 in your back pocket to throw that over to first.
Perfect throw there, as here's Cale Jensen stepping in and taking strike 1. So nothing but strikes so far here for the right-hander Caleb Hay. Hay works quickly, too. He's ready to go. Pitch is on the outside corner. Hastings Sodbusters and the OAHE Zap. Pitch just a little bit outside there as count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jensen. Cale Jensen for the Hastings Sodbusters at .273 batting average. Pitch taken outside 2-2. He's got 5 home runs, 5 doubles, knocked in 20. He's scored 17 times. He's hitting .286 against OAHE for the summer. The pitch is flied down the left field line but foul. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've told you about numbers against respective teams that haven't been pretty for the Hastings Sodbusters, but Hastings against OAHE hitting .294 with an ERA of 3.14. OAHE hitting just .225 against the Sodbusters with an ERA of 6.67. 2-2 pitch, grounded back up the middle. Could be trouble. Shortstop's got it. No, he doesn't, as he mishandles behind the bag, but no play anyway. Kyle Mamarian did a good job of even getting there. I thought Caleb Hay was going to make an amazing stop at the pitcher's spot. Didn't work out that way, and it's an infield single for Cale Jensen.
Number 5, Marcos.
So here comes Marcos Cabranes for the Hastings Sodbusters. Hitting .282 with a home run, a triple. He's knocked in 17, scored a team-best 29 runs this year, and he's been swinging a pretty decent bat, and he loves OAHE pitching. How about .455 against the Zap, 10 out of 22 in the 6 games this year. 1 on, 2 outs. Hastings and the Zap are scoreless. Caleb Hay brings it way high for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Sodbusters stolen base-wise this year, 45 out of 57. Do you turn Jensen loose here? As Cale Jensen, 3 for 3 in stolen bases, has a decent lead against the right-handed pitcher, Caleb Hay. 1-0 delivery, and it's a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes now on Cabranes. Nick Jones waiting on deck. So 2 pitches resulted in 2 outs. Good at bat for Jensen. Worked the count and got an infield single. And now here's Cabranes trying to bring him home with a potential extra base hit. Big swing and a foul tip into the glove. The catcher, Dukeshire, makes it 2 balls and a strike.
Cabranes has a huge gap at right center field if he's able to plug that hole right there. Not a Zap defender in sight out in the 405 alley in right center.
Sodbusters going green. Winning green today. A lot of green going to be won today by fans in attendance. The pitch is fouled back. I think that was off the mask of the home plate umpire, Jake Yeager. And the catcher will go out to visit with Caleb Hay to give Mr. Yeager a little bit of extra time. He gives a thumbs up over to the Hastings head coach, Joel Skipper. Apparently all right. And you've done umpiring. That just rattles the cage. Mask doesn't matter, does it, in terms of the...
You know, with the kind of mask that Yeager's wearing, that it's right near your face, it can provide a little bit more of a knockback rather than the catch or the hockey style mask that some umpires wear.
2-2 pitch. Beautiful curveball, but it just misses. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of break on that one, out 3-2.
Talk about just missing there. I don't see how you can lay off of that one, but Cabranes has a wonderful eye at the plate, able to let that one go.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. That'll give Jensen the advantage of running from first base. He takes off. Here's the pitch, swing, and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Dukeshire, and the Sodbusters are turned away. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We out of the 2nd inning. No score. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Into the second inning at Duncan Field. No score. The Soundbusters and the OAHE Zap. Not very often you're going to get away with throwing only 4 strikes in 11 pitches and work an inning where you face the minimum. But that's what Dalton Juden did in the first. He ended up working around a 1-out walk. A double play helped out. And we head to the second, and we expected or maybe hoped would be a good pitching performance. The first inning, pretty darn good pitching on both sides.
Pretty darn good indeed, and especially a hitless inning for Juden. So you like to see that, especially like we mentioned, since Juden's gotten roughed up in his past 3 outings, and when you're going against the ace of the Zap staff in Caleb Hay, you want to make sure that you're minimizing base runners, hits, walks, whatever that may be in any form. And Dalton got himself off to a good start, and hopefully that first inning got it out of the way, and you can roll the rest of the way here.
It's a fascinating matchup mentally. The Soundbusters should have a lot of confidence against this team. The Zap should have a lot of confidence, period, the way they've been playing in the second half. Jacob Trusner steps in. He's first pitch swinging and fouls it away. No balls and 1 strike on Jacob Trusner. Trusner out of Iowa Lakes Community College. And he is 0 for 3 against Hastings this year. Played in only 1 contest in game number 6 of the 6 games played. And this pitch is missing for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike on Jacob Trusner. Zap coming off a win over Fremont in extra innings in their last outing, 8-7. Pitch across for strike. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Trusner. The Zap, located in Pierre, South Dakota, did have the Pierre Trappers, part of the Expedition League a few years ago. Here's a pretty well hit ball to center field. Shires goes back a few steps and makes the catch. The wind is now shifted, blowing straight out to center, and Shires had it read perfectly. A lot better than I did. When it came off the bat, I thought Shires better hustle in, and actually carried very well, and there's 1 out.
Like we've said all season, it's the park where you might get a bad read at first, but you've got plenty of time to run that baby down, and good play from Shires.
Trenton Dukeshire steps in. He's the catcher for the Zap. No score, second inning. The Soundbusters have the only hit. Infield single from Cale Jensen here early on. Dalton Juden brings it home. Just missing outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Dukeshire. Dukeshire stepping to the plate here for the OAHE Zap. Pitch is just missing again. 2 balls and no strikes. Trenton, 285 against Hastings this year. Played in 2 of the 6 games. Had a hit in each of those contests, including a run batted in and a run scored in the 12-3 loss in the last meeting. 2-0 pitch is way high. 3-0 now on Dukeshire with Preston Lau and Andrew Beavers hoping to get their cracks here in inning number 2. A weekend series, come on out. Games at 6:35 both tomorrow and Sunday. 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk. It got that first out, and for the second straight inning, it's a 4-pitch walk issued. He was able to work around that 1-out walk with a double play. Soundbusters would take something similar right here off the bat of Preston Lau. Lau out of Burlingame and goes to California Skyline College. Pitch is missing for ball 1, so 5 straight out of the zone from Dalton Juden. As Lau in the right-handed box against Hastings this year, 2 for 12. He did have a 2-hit game, however. That was in the second meeting back on June 10th. It was won by the Zap, 8-2. That day, Lau went 2 for 5, knocked in a run and scored 1. 2-0 delivery. High for ball 3. All of a sudden, the zone has mystified Dalton Juden. He got ahead of Trusner before prompting a fly out, but that's 7 straight out of the zone since. 3-0. Juden out of the stretch. Brings it in. High for ball 4. So murmurs from the Sodbuster faithful here, hoping that Juden can regain his mojo after he had faced the minimum through 4, but already 3 walks here in the first 2 innings, and now he'll try to work his way around Andrew Beavers. And if you're Beavers, you're probably taking that first pitch regardless of what it looks like. Beavers out of Athens, Tennessee, goes to Milligan University. Squaring to bunt and taking strike 1 right at the letters is Andrew Beavers. No balls and a strike. Borderline pitch goes the Sodbusters' way. Beavers has capability, knocked in 3 against Fremont in that win on Wednesday. Squares to bunt here, gets it down to the first base side. It's going to be picked up by Gaz. Couldn't apply the tag, or did he? Oh, safe. He did not get the tag on. Now, did Beavers go out of the baseline? Well, the other first and second, I thought Beavers avoided the tag, but that's always such a tough call for a home plate umpire, and they said safe.
Well, you know, here, and Joel Skipper's going to come out and ask for an explanation. Here's the thing. The baseline, there's no such thing as a baseline going down to first. You are entitled to a base path, but the base path is established when a play is being made on you. Theoretically, their Beavers could be all the way by the OAHE dugout, and until a tag is being attempted on him, he is technically still in the baseline. So he cannot go more than 3 feet out of his way after Landon Gaz picks that baseball up and starts to tag him. I think he was right on the cusp there. Probably could go either way here, but Jake Yeager, home plate umpire, had the best look, and he had no out of the baseline there, so I can't see this call getting overturned. But I'm surprised that Gaz didn't throw it to first, even though he knows he didn't tag him.
He had time. That's the real unfortunate thing. So after all of that, it ends up. Oh my gosh!
They call him out.
Wow. They are going to get it overturned. Tim Stroman helping out Jake Yeager and helping out the Sodbusters as well. The good news for OAHE, it is a sacrifice. They do get the bunt down, but now there are 2 outs.
Yeah, very interesting call. You see Yeager down there imitating that he did go out of the baseline. It is surprising. You know, the home plate umpire has to look for a lot of things on that there. You're supposed to run outside of the baseline, not in half. So you're looking for runners lane interference. You're looking for out of the baseline. You're looking for a tag too. So probably one of the things that Yeager just forgot to think about in the moment, and maybe got Tim Stroman, the field umpire, there to get together and talk about it and say, oh, well, maybe it was that. But Yeager had to be sure to reverse that call, but surprised to see that go the Sodbusters' way.
Huge call. Sodbusters, particularly if Juden can find his way around the number 8 hitter, Gage Huffman, and he throws strike 1. Would have been bases loaded, 1 out, and Juden rocked a little bit. Instead, chance to get out of this with no damage done. Off speeder is a beautiful one on the inside corner. Quickly, 2 strikes on Gage Huffman. Huffman, out of West Virginia, Milligan University, stands in that right-handed box. 267 against Hastings so far this year. 0-2 pitch. High for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. He is the beer batter, so the Sodbuster fans, a very good group, getting into it even more here today on this 9 innings of winning, hoping for a strikeout for Juden. 1-2 pitch. It's in the dirt and through the legs of Cabranes, and a run's going to score. That's an either-or. I suppose it's a wild pitch. It was right at the turf high, but, man, Cabranes probably feels like he should have stopped that. One way or the other, a run scores.
Yeah, he definitely did. I saw him as he's running back to the backstop kind of yell at himself, and, you know, as a former catcher, that's just the worst feeling of the world. You get down on your knees, you get the block on the baseball, but somehow it still finds the way through.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Down goes Huffman, but 1 run does come across on no hits, 1 left. We head to the bottom half of inning number 2. OAHE 1, Hastings nothing. It's Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com.
Into the bottom half of inning number 2, Soundbusters trail it 1-0 as the OAHE Zap come up with a run on no hits. A couple of walks in the inning, and the run scored on a wild pitch. Hastings Soundbusters have the only hit of the game as they will be batting their 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Jones, Chavez, and Gaz here at inning number 2 against Hay. And man, you hate to give away a cheap one against a guy like Caleb Hay, who has an ERA of under 2 for the year. You figure hits may be few and far between, despite the fact you've had a lot of success against the Zap this year. This is a dude they have not seen, and he has been really, really good.
Yeah, late addition to the Zap roster, and like you said, all he just done in his 3 starts is deal. Looked pretty darn good in the first inning, and he'll look to continue here.
Here's Nick Jones leading things off for the Hastings Soundbusters. He's first pitch swinging and fouls it back. No balls and 1 strike. Jones had a decent swing there. Returnee for the Hastings Soundbusters, hitting .266, couple of home runs, 6 doubles, knocked in a team best 21 and scored 18 times as Jonesy pops this one up. On the infield, shortstop started back a couple of steps, then will come on, and no problem there for Kyle Mamarian, and there's 1 out. So an F6 begins the second inning. Here's Anthony Chavez. Chavez, .283 for the year, team best 8 doubles. He's knocked in 11 and scored 10 times. And had a decent series against the Nebraska Prospects, 5 out of 11, including 2 multi-hit games. Went 2 for 3 in the second game of a twin bill and scored a run. He's scuffled against OAHE and 13 at-bats. He's 3 for 13 for .231 average and takes this pitch inside. 1 ball and no strikes on Chavez for the Hastings Soundbusters. Chavez, the Chico State Wildcat recruit. Bouncing ball to the right side. Second baseman's got it. 2 quick outs. Trevor Seagraves, 4-3 on the putout. And Hastings Soundbusters down to their final out here in the second with Landon Gaz coming up. Gaz, right-handed hitter to go against Caleb Hay, the right-hander. And Gaz has seen his average slip to .212. He's had a triple, 4 doubles, knocked at 11, and scored 12 times. First pitch to Landon Gaz is right there for strike 1. No balls and 1 strike as Hay looks very solid here in the early going. Gaz against Nebraska went 2 for 11. He did have a multi-hit game in that big win on Tuesday. He fouls the pitch back, now down 0-2. He doubled, knocked in 2, scored 2, 2 for 5 in that game as the Soundbuster offense came to life, battling from 5 down to win. Pitch inside. That was a really tough pitch. Fortunate that was off the inside part of the plate. 1-2 on Landon Gaz. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the second. 1-0. Zap on top. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of the catcher, Dukeshire, and the Soundbusters go quietly here in the second. No runs, no hits. We head to the third. OAHE 1, Hastings 0, and this is Soundbuster Baseball.
Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Soundbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
OAHE 1, Hastings nothing as we head to the third inning. Dalton Juden out there. He'll be throwing his 31st pitch. Only 12 of them have been strikes so far, so he hopes to find his command. Sodbusters giving up the run despite not allowing a hit as yet. And with inning number 3, here's Ryan Valenta.
We are set for a good one here, folks. We talked about it pregame. The pitching staffs on both sides have struggled, but only one run on the board through 2 innings here at Duncan Field. Dalton Juden, like we mentioned, is looking for a quality start. He's been quality startless, if you will, in his past 3 outings, so he will look to right ship here against the 9-1-2 spots for the OAHE Zap. That's going to come in the order of Tyler Traphagen, Trevor Seagraves, and Jackson Mix. As Sodbusters welcome the Zap once again for the first time to Duncan Field as the Zap. OAHE, the Pure Trappers last year, as they come to Duncan Field the first time in this 2023 season, and will be the last time that the Sodbusters will see the Zap this season. Zap have turned it on as of late. They swept the first half division champs Fremont Moo as first pitch swinging Traphagen down the line and fair ball inside the line. Extra base is coming as Hiltbrand goes all the way out to dig it out. Traphagen thinking 3, stumbles, throw from Gill to third, safe, just in there ahead of the tag of Anthony Chavez. That little stumble just past second base almost cost Tyler Traphagen a triple there. And that's the worst thing to do, is get thrown out on the bases for out number 1. But Traphagen's in his 3rd team-leading triple of the year.
And when he hit second, I thought there was no doubt he was going to get 3. Really good relay from right all the way to third base. The Sodbusters nearly got him out. Now it's going to be very tough for Dalton Juden. And what a first hit of the game for the OAHE Zap.
So second run looming 90 feet away for the Zap. And taking strike 1 is Trevor Seagraves out of Ottawa University in Arizona. Did not play for them this year, but played in 6 games in 2022. Ground ball to second. This will get the run home. And on the run is Gill. He makes the play over to Gaz at first. So an RBI ground out goes 4-3 by Trevor Seagraves as Traphagen comes around to score. It's 2-0.
And I know it was, a semi-routine looking play, but that's just making it look routine. That was tremendous play for Taylor Gill. When that came off the bat, it was kind of headed up the middle. He was able to show his range, get in front of it, and make a very strong throw to first.
That'll bring up Jackson Mix. He walked in the first inning. Also first pitch swinging. Jensen makes the catch, going down to a knee in left field. Soft looping line drive caught by Jensen, and that is out number 2.
Fast moving inning here with especially a run scored, a triple, ground out, fly out, and here comes pitch number 4.
And we're going to be out of here by 8:30 tonight if this keeps up. Dalton Juden not away from getting out of the 3rd inning, and he'll have to face Kyle Mamarian, Gonzaga guy who is currently looking for another stop. He, former D1, as Mamarian from Vancouver, Washington, fouls that out of play. Was a 3-year starter at Skyview High School and garnered 2-time first-team All-League selection at his time. Only played in 1 game against the Moo, where he pinch hit twice, was 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch. Nubbed down the first base line, and that almost rolled back fair, but just foul to the right side.
Unfortunate it didn't stay fair. Gaz had it, was going to step on the bag. It would have been a cheap out, and Sodbuster certainly would have taken that.
You can probably see at the plate too, Mamarian, he really gets down in his stance. Mamarian listed at 5'11", 170 pounds. But when he gets into his batting stance, right there, he's about, probably 5'4" right there. Really gets down. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to short. Printer on a couple hops. Toss over to first in time. And the Sodbusters are out of the 3rd inning. A leadoff triple comes around to score, but nothing else. So OAHE has a 2-0 advantage going to the bottom of the 3rd.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Home half of the third inning. Sodbusters coming up against Caleb Hay. Caleb Hay has faced 7 through the first 2 innings. Just a 2-out single to Cale Jensen, the only base runner for the Sodbusters so far. 2 strikeouts and no walks. And visiting with Jack McGonigal, the visiting broadcaster for the Zap, and said this has been a breath of fresh air. This guy on the mound for the Zap. The Zap ranking dead last in just about every category pitching-wise. ERA, runs, walks, strikeouts, and average. Printer first pitch swinging over to shortstop is Mamarian. Snags it over to first end just in time to record the out. From one shortstop to another, Printer's retired for out number 1.
And it isn't amazing how one guy can make that kind of difference. It also maybe settles the rest of the pitching staff down. You know, once out of every 5 or 6 days, this guy's going to come out and give you 6, 7, 8 innings, helps your bullpen out. And so certainly a guy who's been a key to the turnaround for the Trappers.
Here is 9-hole hitter Kyle Hiltbrand. Takes high for ball 1. Hiltbrand, one of the mid-season additions for the Sodbusters, as he cuts and misses at that breaking ball. The count goes to 1-1. Foul tip into the glove, and Sodbusters have been just a little bit off on that fastball from Hay, and he's working a little too quickly, and Jake Yeager calls out time to give Hiltbrand an extra second. Hiltbrand just played in 2 games against the Prospects. Fouls that off where he went 1 for 4. Drove in 2 runs and scored a run himself. Had a walk-in, was hit by a pitch. Check swing, and he went around, and Hiltbrand is struck out for the second out, and 2 up, 2 down. That is 5 straight for Caleb Hay.
75 miles an hour on that breaking ball, and his breakers, oh my gosh, it starts at the shoulder and ends up at about the ankles. That is nasty, nasty stuff, and it looks just like his fastball when it comes out of his hand.
There's the changeup that time, and that catches the outside corner. That's something we've seen, seen Hay use against these left-handers. There's a fastball in the outer part this time, but away. Taylor Gill grounded out in the first inning. He went 3 for 12 in the Prospects series with a double and 3 runs scored. Curveball drops in there for strike 1. Now 2-1 to Gill. Gill just playing in his 4th game this season as a Sodbuster. Fouled to the left side and out of play. It's now 2-2. 3 hits, a double so far this season for Gill. 2-2 to the left side and caught on a line by Kyle Mamarian. 3 up, 3 down as Caleb Hay for the Zap has retired 7 straight. We go to the 4th inning. OAHE's up 2-0.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Which former Sodbusters pitcher? All right, top of the fourth inning, OAHE and Sodbusters. Scott Galusha, general manager and owner, giving away the first prize of 9 innings of winning here at Duncan Field. $10 for a raffle ticket. You can buy as many as you want, and over $4,000, as Scott said, in prizes given away here tonight, with the final prize being a Traeger blacktop grill. Scott said we could get in on this, Steve, if you didn't hear, but I don't know. I think it's better to leave it up to the fans. So
if we win, it's going to be fix. It's a fix. Yeah, I mean, I think we could get in on it. But if they draw our name, are they going to say?
Well, yeah. How are we going to know?
Ryan Valenta can't win this. He's a broadcaster, so they're going to put your name back. Sorry.
Well, and here's the thing. I live in Lincoln, so most things. I mean, big things rather, i.e. the TV and the grill, I can't get back to Lincoln, so I'd have to give those one up. But
all right.
Mason next to me has so graciously offered his pickup truck, but it's okay, Mason. I don't have my name in the hat, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, 4-5-6 for the Zap coming up here as Jacob Trustner with a 1-1 count. Juden loses the lid mid-pitch and spikes ball 2 in the dirt.
So apparently that didn't work. So don't lose your hat anymore, Dalton. That was not his best pitch of the year. Was it a prospects guy?
Elijah Reeves.
Every time he threw.
Yep. Elijah Reeves, or no, he's for the Spuds, not the prospects.
Okay, yeah.
But I think was that who you were thinking of?
Yes, somebody lost their hat every pitch. I was thinking it was one of the prospects, but yeah, you could be right.
There was another guy. It might have been for the prospects, but Elijah Reeves for the Spuds, as a position player, came on to pitch, and his first 9 pitches, his hat flew off every time. Swing and a miss from Trusner. As count goes full to him, Dalton Juden works it full. Here is the payoff to Trusner. Right down the pipe, caught him looking. Not sure what Trusner was looking for there, but he will head back to the dugout for out number 1.
You'll take 1 up and 1 down. It was interesting that third inning. Dalton Juden threw all of 8 pitches but gave up a run because the first pitch turned into a triple. This time he had to throw 6 pitches, but he gets the first out of the inning here in the 4th.
I'll take this instead.
You bet.
Yeah. So Juden retires the leadoff man, and according to that flight scope, that pitch could not have been any more perfect right down the middle. So Trusner was guessing and guessed wrong. That pitch, however, buzzes a corner and is called strike. So Trenton Dukeshire bats. He walked, and he scored the first run on a wild pitch in the 2nd inning. Dukeshire, the catcher, another guy gets really far down in his batting stance there. Breaking ball is hammered to left field. Jensen going way back, and he makes the outstretched catch in the 405 alley for out number 2. Great catch by Jensen to rob Dukeshire of extra bases and maybe more.
And when that came off the bat, I thought with the wind blowing out, it's going to be a tremendously difficult play. And Jensen, great read on it and made the nice catch. I thought he was going to have to go headlong to do it, but kind of caught it going down. And a very good play for Jensen, battling the sun and wind out in left field.
That was a middle curveball right there, and Dukeshire did not miss that. Pitch 1 is up high to Preston Lau, and I'm sure in Pierre that might be a home run. So Lau bats here with the bases empty and 2 outs. Check swing. They'll check down to first and did not go. So ball 2 to Preston Lau. Lau on the year, one of the guys hitting over 300 for the Zap as he fouls that back out of play. Team average for the Zap just at 239, the worst in the league. Right behind the Sodbusters, 243. That's fouled off to the left side, so a lot of worst and second worst shared between these two teams as they duke it out for a 3-game series. Their 7th, 8th, and 9th games of the year. The 2-2 to Lau. Waved and missed, blocked by Cabranes. He'll have to throw down to first. Goes inside, and Gaz collects that for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down with a pair of strikeouts for Dalton Juden as the Zap go down quietly. Sodbusters coming up in the bottom of the 4th.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com.
Sodbusters coming up in the bottom of the 4th. They'll send Lane Shires, Cale Jensen, and Marcos Cabranes to the plate against Caleb Hay, who has been electric so far. He has just faced 1 over the minimum through 3 innings of work. And that one base runner was a Cale Jensen single in the first inning, and he is due up second here in the 4th. This is Ryan Valenta, Steve Stein bringing you Sodbuster Baseball. Always having fun here in the booth this summer as Sodbusters will go for their 4th win at home this year. To put into perspective, Sodbusters have beat OAHE on the road 4 times. There's strike 1 to Lane Shires. That curveball has been a beauty for Hay so far. 0-1 to Shires, fastball this time, and that's headed towards the parking lot. So Shires down in the count quickly, 0-2. Shires had a good series against the Prospects, went 4 for 9, drove in 3 runs, and he's been hot as of late. Just got a piece of that one and fouls that back to the screen. Shires coming into the series hitting .254 with 12 ribbies. He had 4 of those in the Badlands series last weekend. Watch out for your shoe tops there. That pitch is way inside, 1-2 to Shires.
And Shires almost limped away from home plate. I thought he was going to sell it. Head down to first, Lane.
1-2. Curveball is grounded foul to the net on the left side. So Shires putting up a good fight. It's fouled off a couple here. Caleb Hay at 38 pitches now through 3 innings. Breaking ball, good eye by Shires as he lets that one go low and away for ball 2. So 2-2 to Shires. Fastball to first and outstretched by Trusner. He'll take it himself to first. And that is 1 out here in the first as Shires is retired.
Gotta love playing defense behind Hay, too. He works so quickly, and thus far this Zap team has been very good, making every potentially tough play look easy, and so they are clicking on all cylinders at this point.
Here is Cale Jensen, who stands in the batter's box and is the last base runner for the Sodbusters. First pitch to him is a breaking ball called strike on the inner half. 0-1 to Cale Jensen. Jensen went 2 for 9 in the 3-game series against the Prospects. Fastball, paint job on the outer half this time, and Hayes done a good job at painting both sides. He has hit the outside and inside to Jensen. Back up the middle, Mamarian at short, gobbles it up over to first just in time as Jensen is retired on the 6-3 ground out, and that is now 9 straight retired for Caleb Hay.
And you're darned if you do, darned if you don't. Your first pitch swinging, you're not working the pitch count, but if you're not first pitch swinging, you're down 0-1, 0-2 because Hay has been that sharp. So it's kind of a catch-22 for the Sodbuster squad, whether to swing early or to try to work the count.
So Marcos Cabranes will try to break that trend here in the 4th inning. Quick moving game so far here at Duncan Field. Breaking ball in there for a strike. As that just shaves off an edge on the outside part. Had Jake Yeager, home plate umpire, one of the better umpires here at Duncan Field. There's ball 1, 1-1. That pitch also very close. Yeager knows the zone. We'll give him that. Breaking ball, and Cabranes locked up in the box there. Count goes to 1-2 to Marcos Cabranes. Cabranes team leader in hits, doubles, runs scored, and takes ball 2 high and away. Cabranes doing the catching today. He's split that time with second base also. Fastball just misses outside, and boy, I'll tell you what, Caleb Hay has been very, very close just about on every pitch he's thrown here today. Not missing by much. Sodbusters having a good eye. Full count to him. Breaking ball's high for ball 4 as Cabranes down 0-2 works the walk here for a 2-out walk in the 4th.
Really good at bat for Marcos. You mentioned, hey, right on corners, and I think all those were balls, but it's so tough to lay off of those when you're down in the count, and a great job for Marcos to work the walk, and we'll see if they can get a little 2-out magic with Nick Jones.
Nick Jones in the left-handed batter's box. Takes ball 1, fastball just off the plate. Jones, one of a handful of Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys on the roster. Jones hitting .266, has a team leading 21 RBIs, and playing him slightly to pull on the right side. So again, that left center field gap looking oh so tempting, if Jones can put it that way. Cabranes leads from first. Hayes missed with the first 2 and gets that call for a strike on the inner half of the plate. Jones still ahead in the count, 2-1. If he can reach, you have Anthony Chavez on deck. 2-1, slashed foul.
That'd be interesting to see. 2-strike count. Do you put Cabranes in motion now to, so if it doesn't go well for Jones, you could, or if you get caught stealing, you'd have Jones leading off the next inning. Just try to get him in scoring position. Not a big lead, though, for Marcos.
Dukeshire behind the plate, 42-46. And that's into the center left field for a base hit. Cabranes will head for third. The throw to third. And Cabranes' head first slide is in safely and holds the bag. Cabranes' aggressive first to third move as Jones goes the opposite way. We've seen him do so many times. Sodbusters have runners on the corners with 2 outs.
And it was a delayed steal. Cabranes didn't take off immediately, but he was in motion, and so that movement allowed him to get the opportunity to go first to third, and he had the play unfolding right in front of him, thought he could get there, and he did. Now the Sodbusters, let's see what they do here with runners at the corners. They had a double steal in the last series against the Nebraska Prospects. Can they put the guy in motion and see if they can steal one here down 2-0?
Jones, not the best guy to send, but you never know. First pitch to Chavez, curveball is down low.
1 for 1, baby. 100% in stolen bases this year. And how would the Zap play it? It's interesting to see, you just let him have second, or do you try to throw down? Do you throw in front of the bag? We'll see if any of that happens.
My last point was cut off. That was crushed to left field. That one's going to get way over the head and more, and it is one hop off the wall. Cabranes is in to score. Here comes Jones, and Xavi Two Bags does it again. A 2-run double, and this game is tied.
Don't need to steal 1 run when Chavez can knock home 2. How about this for a 2-out rally? It began with that great at-bat from Cabranes just to get on, then single-double, and it's a new ball game against the best pitcher on the Zap staff.
Caleb Hay, that pitcher, had retired 9 straight, but now 3 straight have reached a walk single and a moonshot of a double that likely could have been a home run in the Zap Stadium in Pierre. Landon Gaz bats and takes strike 1. And for Anthony Chavez, he takes sole possession of the doubles lead now with 9 doubles on the year. And RBIs 12 and 13 for Chavez. Gaz back up the middle. Oh my goodness. Behind the back snare from Caleb Hay, and Gaz can't believe it. He will trot back to the dugout, and what a stellar play from the Zap guy on the mound. Can't do anything but tip your cap to Caleb Hay as he gets out number 3. Sodbusters tied up in the 4th. We go to the 5th, tied at 2.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Quick moving game here at Duncan Field. The Sodbusters tie it up on a 2 RBI double from Anthony Chavez. And I think my prediction still could hit, Steve. We might be out of here in an hour if this game keeps continuing like this.
It's been a fun game so far. And Caleb Hay, talk about, okay, do you want to work the count? Yes, I think you want to work the count because Caleb Hay had to throw 25 pitches this last inning. Sodbusters, even though they were 2 up, 2 down, they worked the count. And then remember, Cabranes down at the count, 0-2, able to battle back, get the walk, and then a single for Jones the other way, followed by the 2 RBI double from Chavez. We are all knotted up. Here comes OAHE with their 7, 8, and 9 hitters against Dalton Juden. Juden with 51 pitches thrown through the first 4 innings as he faces 7, 8, and 9 right here. Andrew Beavers steps in the right-handed box of a 2-2 contest between the Zap and the Sodbusters. Here's the pitch. Right there for strike 1, no balls and 1 strike on Andrew Beavers. Beavers laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time up, but that doesn't tell the whole story. He was initially ruled safe as he avoided the tag from Landon Gaz, but then it was later determined that he went out of the baseline, much to the chagrin of the Zap fans here, as the pitch misses for ball 1, 1 ball and 1 strike. And it was a huge call in the game because that would have loaded the bases with only 1 out instead of a second and third and 2 outs. The 1-1 pitch on the way. And that's sign outside for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Now the Zap did get a run out of that as they got a wild pitch shortly thereafter to get their first run of the game. They would follow that up with their second run in the third. We're tied at 2 now as the pitch fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beavers a decent swing there as he is the third baseman for the OAHE Zap, coming in 8 and 7 in the second half of the Independence League schedule. Sodbusters are 2 and 11. It's good to have baseball back in Pierre. They were the former Pierre Trappers in the Expedition League, but now rebranding. I think new owners as well, and kind of finding their magic here in the second half. Pitch misses for ball 3, 3 balls and 2 strikes. They do have the same coach they did when they were the Trappers, Jamie Habiger. 3-2 pitch on the way. Low for ball 4, so disappointing start to this 5th inning for Dalton Juden as Beavers draws a walk, and that is already 4 walks for Juden. Gonna work yourself into trouble here. A leadoff walk, never fun. Gage Huffman now bats. Huffman, the first strikeout victim, back in the second, as Dalton has walked 3 to go along with the 4 walks, has struck out 3 to go along with the 4 base on balls. Runner at first, nobody out. 2-2 the score. Still only 1 hit for the Zap. Sodbusters have out-hit them 3-1 in this tie game. Pitch outside for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes now. Huffman, he's the beer batter, struck out his first time up, so Sodbuster fans anticipating some potential beer specials again in inning number 5. And if you're a Sodbuster fan for real, get an out anyway, maybe 2. Double play ball would be all right. Throw over to first, and Beavers is back in safely. Here's the pitch. High and tight, 2-0. And Juden has been in and out of the zone, has had command issues today. That pitch about 84 miles an hour as he buzzed the tower. 2-2, we're in the top half of inning number 5. Zap right in the hunt for the second half title as they are a game over 500, right with Badlands. Casper leads the second half standings at 11-5. 2-0 delivery, and this one sprayed foul. 2-1 the count now on Huffman. Casper 11-5, Badlands 7-6, OAHE 8-7, Spearfish 8-8, Fremont slipped to 5-10, Hastings 2-11. Nebraska ended up beating Fremont yesterday in a makeup game 11-3. 2-1 pitch on the way. Ooh, just misses 3-1. Soundbuster fans not too pleased at that. And 3 balls at a strike now to Huffman. 2-2 the score is one of the fans. What's the matter? You don't like beer, Blue? 3-1 the count. The pitch outside for ball 4, and that is very disappointing. Back-to-back walks to the number 7 and 8 hitters, and now OAHE thinking about gaining that lead right back. The free passes just want to make you pull your hair out, and I don't have much hair left. Here comes Joel Skipper out to visit with Dalton Juden. At this point, it doesn't look like there's any action behind Dalton. Dalton was actually in better shape pitch count than Caleb Hay through four innings. Who'd have thought that, the way Hay was rolling right along there for a while, but Juden had that 8-pitch inning to go along with the 13-pitch inning of last 2 frames, but here back-to-back walks, and Dalton Juden has yet to record an out here in the 5th. 2-2 the score, but the Zap, their go-ahead runs at first and second base, and their 7 and 8 hitters up there, and their number 9 hitter, all he did the last time was triple down the right field line. So this one is very much in jeopardy. It's Tyler Traphagen with the triple and the run scored on a ground out back in the 3rd. We're now in the 5th of a 2-2 game, so Juden faces a pretty tough hitter right here. A lot of speed, very tough to get a double play off of him. He squares to bunt and takes low for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Cabranes keeps it in front. And bring a strike. If they're going to give you an out, take it. Makes it a little bit tougher with the speed of Traphagen. He showed that off, motoring all the way to 3rd, his first time up. Pitch is missing. Throw back to second base, and safe. Close on that pick throw from Cabranes as he tried to get Andrew Beavers, and Beavers just did beat the tag of Josh Printer. Great throw from Cabranes, and now, did they say that he offered? We've got 1-1 on the board. I'm not sure if it's 1-1 or 2-0. I thought it was a little bit outside, but perhaps it was called a strike. Here's the pitch. Misses. So they took the bunt off there. It is 2 balls and 1 strike now on the batter, Traphagen. Sodbusters, 2-2 score, and now a ball inside. 3-1 now on Traphagen. Sodbusters in a 2-2 tie, and Dalton Juden working himself into a big jam here. 3-1 pitch on the way, and this one is grounded down the first base line and fair. A run will score. Traphagen's going to have to settle for a single as it's chased down nicely by Hiltbrand, but they also go first to 3rd, and the 7, 8, and 9 batters have all reached safely. Traphagen with the RBI single. Beavers scores. Huffman's ends up at 3rd base, and OAHE thinking big inning here as they have pushed the lead now to 3-2. With the top of the order coming up, Seagraves, Mix, and Mamarian. Already had 1 visit to the mound from the head coach, Joel Skipper. See what Soundbusters have planned here. At this point, there is still no action behind Juden, allowing Dalton to work his way through this. They needed some innings from Juden with games Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Runner takes off on a delayed steal. Throw down to second base is going to be in time. Oh, it would have been in time, but the ball pops out of the glove of Printer, and there's 2 tough plays at second base that go against the Sodbusters. It was actually, instead of Printer, it was Taylor Gill taking that throw, and it just one-hopped the bag, and Gill could not field it cleanly. You had that bang-bang play when they tried the pick play on Beavers. Beavers was back in safely, and he would have gotten Traphagen out. Pitch is missing for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. So there goes any potential double play here. Now runners at second and third, and still no one out. 1 run home, and OAHE trying to take a big advantage here. They still have only 2 hits in the game, but they lead at 3-2. Pitch is just missing. 2 balls and a strike on Trevor Seagraves. Had an RBI ground out his last time up. He's grounded out twice so far. 2-1 the count. And the pitch. Right there for strike 2. Strikeout would look large here for Dalton Juden as he tries to find a way to get an out here in inning number 5. Sodbusters are playing the middle infielders back. Corners are in on the grass. Perhaps a play at the plate if they get one right at them. 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball back up the middle. It's going to be fielded. The throw to first is going to be in the turf and an error. Taylor Gill showed nice range, but never got the feet set, and Landon Gaz could not pick it cleanly, and now the first error of the game, and it's really tough now for the Sodbusters. You would have taken the out in exchange for the run right there. Instead, the error allows a run to score. And now there's still no one out, and runners at first and third, and it's 4-2. The Sodbusters are on the short end as the Zap try to take full command of this one. There is right-handed action now behind Dalton Juden, and Juden making a good pitch there to Seagraves, but the Sodbusters couldn't get an out. Now it's real trouble against the Zap. And this one is lined to center field. Shires makes the catch. Runner ran from third. They'll throw back behind him. Not going to get it. And boy, there's a really base-running blunder there for the Zap. Tyler Traphagen could have tagged and scored relatively easily. Instead, there are still runners at the corners. The Sodbusters have a chance to get out of this with a double play. So Shires played it well, and I'm not sure if Traphagen heard something from the head coach, but he was 2/3 of the way down the line. Jamie Habiger, one way or the other. Traphagen was able to get back to third before the throw came in. Now we'll see what the Zap have cooking. Pitch right there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike on Kyle Mamarian. Mamarian 0 for 2. Josh Printer be ready. 2 ground balls at him. One was a 6-4-3 double play. The other a 6-3 grounder. You take something similar right here. Maybe a chance to get out of this with a twin killing. 0-1 delivery. Right there for strike 2 at the knees. Very good pitch for Dalton Juden. A strikeout would look nice here. 3 strikeouts to go along with 5 walks. 2 walks to begin the inning. Those guys have scored, and you just shake your head and grind your teeth when things like that happen, but that's baseball sometimes. 0-2 pitch coming from Juden. Hard hit but foul. Remains 0-2, and man, that rifled over into the CPI Snack Shack area. Hopefully everybody's okay. Good crowd on hand here at Duncan Field on a gorgeous Friday night. Should be fun here for Saturday and Sunday as well. 2 very evenly matched teams set to go for 6:35 games Saturday and Sunday as well. 0-2 pitch on the way. Runner goes. Pitch is grounded into left field for a base hit. Runners will be at first and second on the RBI single from Manarian. Mamarian brings home a run there, and 3 have scored in the inning. There's still only 1 out. Runners at first and second, and Jacob Trezner will come to the plate. Jacob Trezner 0 for 2, flew out to center his first time up, and then struck out looking to open the 4th. First and second, the double play still in order, and 5-2, the Zap on top. So over the head of Trezner, 1 ball and no strikes, as there continues to be right-handed action behind Juden, who's laboring his way through this 5th inning. 2 walks set the table. They've gotten some hits to go along with it. 7 and 8 batters walking to begin the frame. 1-0 delivery, and it's popped foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike on Trezner. And Dalton Juden has seen his pitch count balloon up to 79 now. He has thrown 28 pitches this inning and only gotten 1 out. 1-1 delivery coming from Dalton Juden. Inside hit him. Oh boy. 2 walks and a hit batsman to go along with 2 singles and an error, so a little bit of everything on the negative side, and the Sodbusters are going to have a visit to the mound and make a pitching change. We'll take a break. 1 out, 5th inning, and bases will be loaded for the Zap. When we come back, this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the ALLO promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say ALLO. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with ALLO. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Pitching change for the Hastings Sodbusters. Bases loaded, only 1 out. 3 have scored for the OAHE Zap. And we'll get a look at Braden Mackey, 6'2", 175-pounder. He's a Hastings guy, went to Cloud County Community College. He's committed to Oral Roberts. Coming in 0-0, a 19.38 ERA in 4 1/3 innings. He has allowed 12 runs, 12 hits. He has struck out 3, walked 3, and hit 3. Wednesday, he worked a couple of innings, allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, did have a strikeout in that contest. But still trying to figure things out coming off an arm injury. Believe it or not, that was kind of a step forward for him. So it was good to see him just throw strikes, and he's got the stuff when he is in control. Has a chance to be very special, and he'll come in with a mess. Sodbusters seeing Dalton Juden throw 80 pitches today and really struggled with strikes. Only threw 42 of his 80 within the zone this inning. He walks 2 and hit 1. And then a couple of singles and an error also has proved costly, as the Sodbusters just have not been able to minimize the damage whatsoever. 3 have scored so far for the Zap, and they still have only 1 out. So the Sodbusters working hard to get it tied against Caleb Hay, their best pitcher, and they immediately give up 3 runs. So it's going to be really tough for the Sodbusters to battle back here. You know, Hayes probably going to have a lot of confidence, although he has reached 58 for his pitch count at this point. 5-2, the Hastings Sodbusters on the short end. And we will see Trenton Dukeshire step to the plate. 8th man to bat in the inning. Walked and scored his first time up. He's also lined out to left. Trenton Dukeshire. Bases loaded, only 1 out for the Zap. They have scored 3 times already here in a slow-moving 5th after we rolled through the first 4 innings. Pitch inside, and it hits. Well, we thought it hit. Or did it bounce off the bat? Runners advanced. And what's the call going to be? I think it got a piece of the glove, or did it get a piece of the home plate umpire? It was not a foul ball. Runs scored on a wild pitch, so Mackey's first one way high, way inside. Seagrave scores on the wild pitch. Mamarian ends up at third base. Trusner ends up at second. Here's the pitch. And that's missing for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. I think it was cleanly through, and it either got a piece of the glove of Cabranes, or I think it got the shoulder of the home plate umpire off the shoulder padding of the home plate ump. 1-0 delivery, and no doubt about this one as it drills him in the back. Whew. So back-to-back hit batsman, the first of the game for Braden Mackey. So he comes in and unleashes a wild pitch and also hits a man. So bases are loaded again here with the Zap already on top. Getting 3 runs in this inning so far. Make it 4 runs in this inning. It should be 6-2 now. 6-2, the Zap on top. They have the bases loaded once again with Manarian at third base, Trezner at second, Dukeshire at first, and it should be 6-2. OAHE is now on top. They are still attending to the man who was hit by the pitch, Trenton Dukeshire. Dukeshire just got drilled right in the back, and is he going to be all right? He is going to head to the dugout right now, maybe to get a drink. We'll see how he's doing as he goes to the dugout. Are we going to have a new runner for this team from OAHE? OAHE located in Pierre, former home of the Pierre Trappers. And it looks like we're going to have a change at this point of a runner at first base. So Dukeshire gets drilled in the back and looks like he's not going to be able to continue, so that's unfortunate. They'll have to have a new catcher as well. Bases are loaded. Meantime, Braden Mackey is going to throw some warm-up pitches here to try to find his command as he is. Well, he almost hit Dukeshire the first time and then did hit him a couple of pitches later. It looks like the new runner at first base, it's going to be number 21. We think. He's grabbed a helmet, didn't like that helmet, and will get a different one, and that will be Garrett Arnold. So Garrett Arnold will run at first base for Dukeshire, who got hit by the pitch. Say, this fifth inning has really come to a big close here as it's come to a standstill. The Sodbusters had battled back to get 2 runs in the 4th inning, only to have Pierce score 4 times so far. There's still only 1 man out, and the bases are loaded. Braden Mackey still trying to find his stuff, and that delay may be allowing him to find his groove as he throws a first pitch strike to Preston Lau. Lau 0 for 1 of the ball game. Still only 3 hits in the game for the Zap. They have 6 on the board, and it's been thank you very much, Hastings Sodbusters. In the inning, 2 walks, 2 hit batsmen, and an error. 1-1 pitch on the way, and this one is grounded hard to Chavez, who steps on the bag for 1, throws to first, double play. So out of all of that, 4 runs come across, and the Hastings Sodbusters trail it 6-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball's in full swing, bringing you another fun-filled summer of high-level collegiate woodbat baseball at historic Duncan Field. A great way to spend a summer evening with your families at a Sodbusters baseball game. Go online to HastingsSodbusters.com for their home game schedule or to purchase tickets. Hastings Sodbusters Baseball. It's a hit.
Got the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
It's Sodbuster Baseball's head of the bottom of the 5th inning. Hastings basically handing OAHE 4 runs in the top of the frame, and now we'll see if they can find more magic against Caleb Hay. You felt great about the Sodbusters through 4. Hadn't done much of anything against Caleb Hay. They were 2 up, 2 down in the 4th. They get walk, single, double to score 2, but then promptly hand it back. 2 walks to begin the frame, then a solid single from Traphagen, an error for the Sodbusters after a line-out, an RBI single, another free pass on a hit batsman. That ended the day for Dalton Juden. Braden Mackey came in and promptly hit the first man he faced, but the Sodbusters getting a big double play, a 5-3 twin killing as Chavez able to field it cleanly at third, step on the bag, and throw to first. That was a large double play to at least keep this OAHE team within shouting distance. OAHE, say, if you can get through Caleb Hay, their team ERA overall is almost 7. So you feel like the bullpen, maybe you have a chance to come back. But Hay has been pretty tough. Now, Hay does have 58 pitches thrown, so how long is he going to go? Able to work the pitch count this past inning as they made him throw 25 pitches in inning number 4. Sodbusters getting ready to go right here, and there is going to be a new catcher, as Garrett Arnold, who came in as that pinch runner, is the new catcher for Trenton Dukeshire. Dukeshire did not continue after being hit by a pitch in the back. Printer fouls the first pitch away. Josh Printer grounded to the shortstop his first time up, 0 for 1. 6-2. Zap have taken the lead. Pitch across for strike. Quickly 2 strikes on Josh Printer, as former Allen County Red Devil, community college down in Kansas, went to Arkansas Little Rock, and now looking for a new home in terms of his 4-year stop. He went to a second junior college at his home at Mountain Home, Arkansas. 1-2 pitch on the way to Printer. Called strike 3. Printer could not pull the trigger there, and he goes down on strikes. And that will be the 3rd K of the day for Caleb Hay. Make it strikeout number 4 for Hay. And first pitch strike to Taylor Gill at the top of the order. Excuse me, to Kyle Hiltbrandt, the number 9 hitter. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Swings and misses here, and Hay right back to throwing first pitch and sometimes second pitch strikes. He has been really, really good. 0-2 pitch on the way. It's missing for ball 1. 1-2 the count on Hiltbrandt with Taylor Gill on deck. 6-2 Zap. They scored 4 runs, 2 of those earned in the top of the inning. Big error helped out with the free passes. The pitch is fouled away. Remains 1-2 on Kyle Hiltbrandt. Great crowd on hand for 9 innings of winning. The biggest giveaway night here for the Hastings Sodbusters. Beginning of a 3-game weekend series. The pitch is swung on in the dirt. Going to be picked up by the new catcher. Throws to first to complete the strikeout. Garrett Arnold good with his first chance, and back-to-back strikeouts for Caleb Hay as he tries to put a 0 on the board to back up his offense. So important. And case in point, what the Sodbusters didn't do after they scored 2 in the 4th. You hope to come out and just gain command. Instead, walk, single, error for the first 4 batters in that 4th inning. All of those guys would score. Now here's Taylor Gill. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and lined out. And a weak grounder to the right side as he tosses the bat away in frustration. Throw to first is not going to be in time. Good job for Gill, despite the frustration, to hustle down. The first baseman had charged, could not get it. The pitcher just a little tardy in covering. After all of that, the Sodbusters going to get an infield single as it was in no man's land there. First baseman thought he could get there. He could not. Jacob Trusner and Caleb Hay could not beat Taylor Gill to the bag, and the Sodbusters have a 2-out base runner. Remember last inning, it was 2-out magic. We'll see if they can get something going here on a bit of a break. Pitch is fouled away for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Lane Shires. He's 0 for 2. A couple of ground outs for Lane. Last inning, it was a 2-out walk, a 2-out single, and then Anthony Chavez with a crushing double to left to get the game tied. Sodbusters trying for a 2-out run here. Bouncing ball left side, though. The shortstop's got it. Throws to first and safe. Infield single. Back-to-back infield singles. Pretty well thrown from Kyle Mamarian, but Lane Shires, following Taylor Gill's example, hustling down the line, take nothing for granted, and the Sodbusters have 2 on, 2 outs, and here comes Cale Jensen, one of the top RBI guys on the team.
Speed kills, and you'll take that any day. Good effort from Shires, knowing I've got a chance to beat that down the line and keep this line moving.
And also works the pitch count a little bit for Caleb Hay. Hay over 70 pitches now, so he had 25 pitches thrown last inning. Man, oh man, this would look really big for the Sodbusters to battle with a run or 2 right here after they, quite frankly, just flat gave OAHE 4 runs in the top of the 5th inning. Walk. Trapegan with a single, but then you have the error, a couple of more hit batsmen. Yeah, it was not a fun top of the 5th inning, and could have been worse. Got a double play to end the threat. So here's Jensen. First pitch swinging, did not catch up with the fastball there. No balls and a strike. He's 1 for 2, had an infield single his first time up, and then grounded to short his last time. No balls, a strike, 2 outs, 6-2. Runners at first and second here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Hay brings home the pitch. Jensen swings at the same pitch up high and could not make contact. Too high, hard winds, 90 miles an hour, and Jensen not going to have too much success against a pitch like that. And now what do you expect? I tell you, Hay has shown a great changeup, tremendous curveball, and he's got the advantage his way against the left-hander, Jensen. Hay, a look back to second, and now breaking contact is Hayes. Pretty decent lead out at second base for Taylor Gill, trying to throw Hay off his game just a little bit. 6-2 the score. OAHE coming up with 4 runs in the top of the frame. Pitch just misses off the outside corner. Really tough one to take if you're Cale Jensen. Sodbusters trying to make some hay against Hay here in inning number 5. 6-2 OAHE with 4 runs, 2 of those earned in the top of the inning. Hastings coming back with a little 2-out magic. The pitch. Bouncing ball, left side, but foul. Great save there for Cale Jensen. One right off his fist and able to just get a piece of it to avoid a strikeout. Saw Hay strike out the 8 and 9 hitters in the lineup for his 4th and 5th strikeouts of the game before the infield singles from Gill and Shires at the top of the order. 1-2 the count. And 2 outs. Hay working out of the stretch again. Jensen brings home the 1-2 pitch. High, hard one. This time Jensen lays off. That was a little higher and much easier to let go by. One's just above the letters. Jensen could not lay off to fall down to the count 0-2. It's 2-2 now with 2 outs. Hay brings it home. Jensen fouls it away again. Good effort here for Cale Jensen. If nothing else, working the count. Now you're hoping he's rewarded with a little blooper somewhere. Get a shot to the outfield. You have a great chance to get Gill home from second and Shires over to third. 2-2 pitch. Hay, check of the runners. Brings it home. Off speed, and Jensen strikes out. So the Sodbusters, a promising 2-out rally begins, but it comes to an end with no damage done. No runs, 2 hits, 2 men left. We head to the 6th inning. It's 6-2 OAHE, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. Fisk Chiropractic Sports Clinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil. Tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris. Plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover.
We had to inning number 6 as Braden Mackey out there for his first full inning of work. Came in and a little shaky early on as he buzzed the tower for a wild pitch, then hit a man. But bouncing back, got a double play, and the Sodbusters getting out of that with 4 runs allowed as it's Ryan Valenta back in. And boy, oh boy, that top of the 5th inning, you shouldn't have left, man. We were rolling through the first 4 innings, and that took about as long as the first 4 innings, it felt like, at the top of that 5th.
No, I want to be sure I get little action shots of all the guys, and hadn't gotten to see Dalton Juden or Mackey pitch down there, so I'm going to give them some credit. I mean, shout out to the guys. You know, the camera I use is just an old Canon Rebel like T6. It's at least 10 years old, but it still does a pretty good job, and some of the guys, they've been asking me where they can get the photos. So
oh, very cool.
It's I would say it's something else I picked up to do too, and I'm just glad the guys appreciate it.
Yep. And the Sodbusters trying to find a way to put a couple of zeros on the board for Mackey as the Sodbusters do trail at 6-2. And like I say, you're now up to 78 pitches for Caleb Hay. He may have another inning or 2 in him, but if you can find a way to get to that bullpen, you feel like if you can keep it a 4-run deficit, there is a chance to rally here as the first pitch is missing to Andrew Beavers. 1 ball and no strikes to Beavers, who began last inning's mess with a walk. Pitches across for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. You walk the 7 and 8 hitters. Then Trap Hagen, he's been great at finding chalk as he got it just inside the line down the first base line for a single, then an error, and after another single, 2-hit batsman. And oh boy, the ball is off of the batter, and it got a huge piece of the home plate umpire. He has gotten a beating today, Jake Yeager, and he is not feeling good right now as that missed all the padding. I think it got him on the arm. Whew.
Either the arms or maybe the side of the ribs. Either or. That's going to leave a nice dark welt in the morning.
As he will make his way back behind home plate. You had Tim Stroman come in and check on him, and yeah, like you said, it must have got him body-wise because he is leaning over a little bit and took one off the shoulder pad earlier. 6-2, and the Sodbusters have now gotten a slew of hit batsmen. That's 3 of the last 4 hitters who have been hit. And Mackey still trying to gain that command. First pitch strike there. Beautiful off-speeder from Mackey. It's 72 miles an hour as Gage Huffman is up there now. He walked and scored his last time up. Bottom of the order, getting the table set. Pitch swung on and missed. Quickly 2 strikes on Huffman, who has a strikeout and a walk to his credit so far. 6-2 the score. The Zap on top of the Hastings Sodbusters. We're in the 6th inning of this 9-inning contest here at Duncan Field, weekend series with OAHE. Come on out and see the Sodbusters and the Zap next couple of nights. 0-2 pitch, grounded to the left side. Chavez fields cleanly, throws to second for 1. Gill the first, double play. 5, 4, 3, see ya. Beavers and Huffman are gone, and Chavez gets his second double play in as many innings, this time starting the 5-4-3 twin killing after he went 5-3 last frame.
Already 3rd double play turned by the Sodbusters today, their 33rd double play of the season, and that's got to be a big confidence booster for Mackey. You hit the leadoff guy, now you can kind of reset with the bases empty here.
And it'll be Tyler Traphagen up there. Traphagen has done a really good job. Triple and a single. Batting from the left side this time. Didn't he bat in the right-handed box the first 2 times? He took it the other way, didn't he?
I am not so sure. I don't remember.
Because I guess I didn't think he pulled it, but maybe he did. Maybe he's just a lefty. I'm getting old. So Traphagen takes this pitch. It's 1. They'll make it 2-0 now. Is that pitch a little bit low? 2-0 the count. He tripled down the right field line his first time up, and then had an RBI single just inside the bag. His last time up, scored 2 of the 6 runs for this OAHE Zap team. Pitch is missing for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes on Tyler Traphagen. Traphagen, well, he's listed as a left-handed hitter, so I must just be imagining things. Went to Ridgewater College. Stands in there, and he's been a thorn in the side of this Sodbuster team here today. 3-0 pitch. That's across for strike. 3-1 the count on Traphagen. One way or the other. 2 for 2. RBI, 2 runs scored for Tyler Traphagen. He had a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored in that win over Fremont. And this pitch just a little bit low for a ball. So a hit batsman and a walk in the inning, but fortunately for the Sodbusters, they get that 5-4-3 double play to erase the first free pass. So back at the top of the order for Trevor Seagraves.
Number 1, Trevor Seagraves.
Seagraves had one of the key at-bats last inning, grounded it back up the middle. Sodbusters would have exchanged the run for an out, but they could not complete the out as they committed an error on the play to really give the Zap a chance at a big inning, and they would come through with 4. Pitch misses for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Seagraves, who is 0 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored. 1-0 the count. Braden Mackey out there for the Hastings Sodbusters. Right there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Seagraves. He's a California guy, goes to school in Arizona, Ottawa University down there. Stands in the right-handed box. Has not hit Hastings well this year at all. Just 1 hit in 16 at-bats now. This the 7th meeting between the two teams. Hastings owns a 4-2 series advantage. Heading into this matchup, the first at Duncan Field. 1-1 delivery. Big swing, no contact. 1-2s. He was way out in front of that off-speed pitch, which hit 72 miles an hour.
Went down to a knee there and almost corkscrewed himself in the ground there. I'd like to see Mackey go right back to that pitch, see if he can get another offer there.
OAHE, one of the hotter teams in the second half after they scuffled that first half of the Independence League season, coming into today at 8-7. 1-2 pitch. Did. And the Sodbusters are going to appeal and did not go around. Check swing there for Seagraves on one that was way outside in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
I thought he might have gone, but with Tim Stroman, the field umpire, out there in the middle of second base, there's no way he can call that himself. He kind of gave a little shrug like, I can't call that, man.
Runner at first. 2 outs. Do not discount Traphagen perhaps going right here. As the 2-2 pitch on the way. Runner does not go, and it's off the outside corner for ball 3. 3-2 now on Seagraves. So now Traphagen will get that walking lead and a running start on 3-2. Sodbusters still hold him on, trying to keep him from getting too far going. As Mackey shakes off a sign. Now he'll break contact and will reset. Braden Mackey would love to see an extended outing for him to save the bullpen for the rest of the weekend. Sodbusters trail at 6-2, plus for his own psyche coming off that injury. Trying to find a way to put a 0 on the board right here. The pitch. Curveball called strike 3. Down goes Seagraves. OAHE does not score. A hit batsman and a walk, but nothing across as the first strikeout for Braden Mackey. Way to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's 6-2 Zap. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings Sodbusters Baseball.
6th inning, Sodbusters trying to find some magic here against Caleb Hay. Hay has been really good, allowing just the 2 2-out runs in the 4th. Hastings trails it by a score of 6-2. Had their opportunity with 2 outs again in the 5th, but couldn't get anything across after a pair of infield singles from Lane Shires and Taylor Gill. It's Steve Stein, Ryan Valenta from Duncan Field today. Mason Henricks is our producer, and you've got Noah Pagel next door along with Connor Christensen with their support here this evening on 9 innings of winning night at Duncan Field.
Sodbusters will look to get those runs back from Caleb Hay as, like you said earlier, Steve, they kind of just gave OAHE those 4 runs in the 5th inning. And for a guy that pitch count is getting up there, he's at 78 pitches now. He's gone at least 6 2/3 in every start, so Sodbusters probably need a big inning to knock Hay out of this game.
And a pretty good spot in the order with Cabranes, Jones, and Chavez. Those were the guys that produced the 2 runs back in inning number 4. And it makes it so tough when you can't get anything started till 2 outs. You'd love to see these guys get going and have a big inning against the Zap. Feel like if you can find a way to get to the bullpen, there's a big chance in this contest. The pitch taken high for a ball. Cabranes, with one of the key at-bats back in the 4th inning, was down to the count 0-2, worked a walk in advance of the Jones single, and then the big 2-out, 2-run double from Chavez. 1-0 pitch. Cabranes pops it up. Foul territory. Arnold, the new catcher, not going to have room. It's Garrett Arnold in relief of Trenton Dukeshire, the catcher who was hit by a pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. The count now on Marcos Cabranes. Hastings Sodbusters. They are on the short end, 6-2.
Scott's trying to implement banana ball rules into the game. Where, if you're not familiar, the Savannah Bananas, they have a rule if a fan catches a ball, it's an out. And Scott said they're currently working on that to get that passed in the league.
Cabranes crushes this one toward the left side, but it's foul, and it goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that's for real. It's like a independent minor league, or
so yeah, they're basically an independent team. I'm not sure what league they're in, but have you've ever seen the Savannah Bananas, Steve?
No, I have not.
It's baseball, but fun baseball. Look it up. It's hard to explain.
I'll do that. 1-2 pitch is taken upstairs for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it sounds like that would fit right in the Independence League. Why not?
Dancing on the field during the game, while pitches are thrown.
2-2 pitch, half-hearted swing at one in the dirt. Arnold fields it, throws to first. He's had to record a couple of strikeouts that way, so Arnold's done a good job in that respect. That's 4 strikeouts the last 2 innings for Hay. All the outs for the Sodbusters, those last 2 frames, it's sandwiched around those 2 infield singles with 2 outs last inning, and here's Nick Jones. So Hay, after giving up the 2 runs, has really come to life. That's 7 strikeouts, including 4 at the last 2 innings. Pitch taken away upstairs for ball 1 on Nick Jones. Jones had that single. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Hastings trails at 6-2, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Big swing, no contact, as Hay blew it by him there with the 89-mile-an-hour fastball. Hasn't lost anything on his velocity at this point. 1-1 pitch. Jones takes it the other way. Shortstop fields it on a couple of hops. Throw to first. Well played there for Mamarian. And 2 outs in the frame. No errors so far for OAHE. They've looked really good defensively. 2 up, 2 down for Chavez. And you would have liked to seen Anthony come to the plate with an RBI chance, because he has been pretty reliable during this nice little run he's having at the plate, as he's raised his batting average. 283 coming into today. Got that 9th double of the year to break the tie in that category with Marcos Cabranes. Takes the pitch for a strike. No balls, 1 strike on Chavez, who's 1 for 2 here today. 6-2. OAHE on top of the Hastings Sodbusters, bottom half of the 6th. Hay brings it home. Hard hit ball. Great stop. First baseman comes to his feet and steps on the bag. Tip of the hat to Jacob Trusner, who took away probably another double from Anthony Chavez. We head to the 7th inning. It's OAHE 6, Hastings 2. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner, a friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
We head to the 7th inning at historic Duncan Field. First game of a 3-game series between the Sodbusters and the OAHE Zap. Zap on top 6-2. Once again, here's Ryan Valenta.
Sodbusters will go to the bullpen for the 2nd time. They bring in Nico Riera. Riera on the year will make his 5th appearance, has started 1 game. In 4 2/3 innings pitched, has allowed 13 runs, 11 of them earned, 9 hits, 7 walks, 8 strikeouts. And opponents are batting .375 against Riera to the tune of a 16.50 ERA. We've played 2/3 of the way here at Duncan Field. Sodbusters need to hang another 0 on the board and get to that Zap pitching staff, which we mentioned in the pregame has struggled much, but not when their starter, Mr. Caleb Hay, is on the mound. Hay came into the game with just a 1.80 ERA, and all he's done is allowed 2 runs in the 4th inning and 3 hits. So for Riera, he will get an opportunity to right ship in a little bit of a rocky go for the tall right-hander so far. Last outing, Riera pitched in the weekend series against Badlands, went 2 1/3 innings. Actually got the start in the game and took the loss. He gave up 5 hits, 6 runs, 4 earned, and his last appearance at Duncan Field, he came on in a hold situation for the Fremont Moo on Independence Day, but he gave up a 3-run home run to give the Moo the lead and ultimately the win here on July the 4th. So we're set to go here after the Sodbusters went down 1-2-3 in the 6th inning. Zap will send 2, 3, and 4. Jackson Mix, the first batter. First pitch from Riera, misses arm side, and that's ball 1. Mix is 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts and walked in the first before he was erased on a double play. 1-0 from Riera. Smoke to the gap in right center field. Shires going over and makes the play in the alley. A loud Duncan field out, but that's a good start for Riera. 1 up and 1 down. So here is Kyle Mamarian. Mamarian, a D1 guy, played ball at Gonzaga University for the Bulldogs. Mamarian from Vancouver, Washington, the team leader in hits with 38. He now has 39 with his RBI single. Takes the curveball high from Riera, 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch number 2, swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-1. Mamarian also team leader in runs scored and stolen bases. And he's only been on 1 time as Mamarian preceded his RBI single with 2 groundouts. Bases empty, 1 out. Curveball up and in, and Mamarian dodges that out of the way. Riera moves to a 2-1 count. From the wind, curveball, and Mamarian checks his swing. Count goes to 3-1. Shadows all across the infield now. Outfielders now having to worry about that sun just a little bit more as it creeps lower and lower. Outside for ball 4 as that fastball just misses the corner. And Mamarian is on, and that's the first walk for Riera. That brings up Jacob Trusner. Trusner hitless today, was plunked by Dalton Juden in the 5th inning, and he'll see a new pitcher for the first time. Riera now in the stretch. Fires home. There's a low strike for strike 1, 0-1.
So Riera joining the club, walking 1. That's 6 walks, 4 hit batsmen for Sodbuster pitchers today, and you're not going to win many games when you give away 10 bases.
10 free passes. Free passes the name of the game, and Trusner swung at a bad pitch. Count goes to 0-2. Trusner fly out, strikeout, and hit bat in the 5th. So 0-2 now. Mamarian a threat to steal at first. Long pause. Wave and a miss. And 2 bad pitches swung at by Trusner, and he is down on strikes on 3 pitches. That's 2 outs.
Riera's got the stuff, and so if he can find a way to put it close enough, it was close enough for Trusner to offer, and a chance to get out of this with no damage done.
This is an OAHE team that is coming into this game striking out 350 times in 42 games. Only second to the Fremont Moo, believe it or not, who coming into the game lead the league in strikeouts. They are the first half champions. There's ball 1 to the next hitter, Garrett Arnold, who will see his first plate appearance. He came on to pinch run for Trenton Dukeshire in the 5th inning after Dukeshire was not able to continue being hit by a Braden Mackey fastball. Pickoff throw to first, and Gaz snags that. Almost got down the line, but Mamarian back in safely. Mentioned Mamarian a threat to steal, 12 for 13 on the year. See what he has in mind. Pitch is grounded to the left side. Chavez charging, gets a nice hop. Toss over to first, and Gaz hauls it in for out number 3. The 1-out walk is stranded at first, and Riera with a scoreless 7th inning. It's stretch time at Hastings. We'll be right back.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the ALLO promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say ALLO. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with ALLO. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by...
Take me out to the ball game, to Duncan Field, as the fans enjoy 9 innings of winning here tonight. But Sodbusters would still like to enjoy a comeback win. They trail 6-2 in the bottom of the 7th.
The good news, 88 pitches thrown so far. See, maybe you can knock Caleb Hay out. Maybe another inning. If you could just work the pitch count here, maybe you could get him out at the end of the 7th and see what you get down against that bullpen in the 8th and 9th.
Yep, Sodbusters will send 7, 8, and 9 to the plate, and 7, 8, and 9 in 6 plate appearances are 0 for 6. So they have yet to get a hit off of Caleb Hay, and the exception is the man coming to the plate here, Landon Gaz. Gaz was robbed of a hit on a stellar play on a comebacker to the mound that Caleb Hay stuck his glove out behind him near his ankles, and was a look what I found moment. He snagged that to end Sodbuster threat in the 4th inning. Sodbuster, bottom third of the order, will try and get their first hit against Hay. And Gaz swings at first pitch and fouls it off to the right side, 0-1.
And that was a huge play. I don't know if the shortstop gets there if Hay doesn't get it. It's up the middle, and the Sodbusters likely score another run and take the lead at that time.
There's a second pitch in the dirt for ball 1. That fastball still sitting in the upper 80s for Caleb Hay, who's enjoyed a nice outing so far. Breaking ball and froze Gaz. Count goes to 1-2. Great breaking ball there. Same pitch, same result, and Gaz is caught looking, and he struck out for the second time this evening. 1 up and 1 down.
You mentioned 7, 8, 9 has done so little. They've also struck out 5 times now in that 7, 8, and 9 spot in the batting order of the 8 strikeouts for Hay.
Printer bats now. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Waves and misses and nodding his head, perhaps saying good pitch. Printer not expecting the curveball there. Gets the same pitch and swings over it again, now 0-2. 75 miles an hour, and according to our flight scope, that has about 4 feet of vertical break. That's crazy. Go 2, same pitch, and Pinner is gone on 3 pitches, back-to-back strikeouts, and for Hay, his 10th strikeout of the game.
And if you were hoping to get to the bullpen by the 8th inning, Hay making it look like he is going to be raring and ready to go and still have plenty of pitches for the 8th if he can work his way around Hiltbrand.
And correction, that was just the 9th strikeout, so Hay will still have 1 more to get double digits here. Ball 1 to Kyle Hiltbrand, who has struck out in both of his appearances. Takes strike 1 there, and Hiltbrand thinks that was down. 1-1, ground ball to the right side. Seagraves come charging in. Low throw, but scooped out nicely by Trustner. And the Sodbusters go down 1-2-3 for the 2nd consecutive inning. 7 complete, 6-2 OAHE.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
Top of the 8th inning here in Hastings. Nico Riera back on the mound for the Sodbusters. Riera pitched a good 7th inning as he allowed a 1-out walk but retired the other 3 men he faced. So good inning for him as he has struggled a little bit early going, but Riera, a late addition to the roster. Good time to stretch that arm out and get a couple innings under your belts. 6-2 OAHE. They lead game 1 of this 3-game series. The bottom 2 in the Independence League squaring off this weekend here at Duncan Field. So far, the Zap with a 4-run lead. The Zap will send up 6, 7, and 8 to the plate against Riera as they look to add on to their lead. Preston Lau, first man to come to the plate. Lau was the last out of the 4th inning and the last out of the 5th inning. He will try and get things started for the Zap as he led off the 2nd inning. Actually, he was in the middle of the 2nd inning. He reached with a walk, the only time he's been on base. And Riera and the Sodbusters are set to go with 2 innings to play. To the right side and foul towards the playground. It's 0-1.
And you look at one of the key stats in this game. Sodbuster pitchers, this is the 3rd one now. Before that pitch, 112 pitches thrown. Exactly half of them were strikes. Got to have more strikes, and that's easy to say, but that has been a theme today.
Easier said than done. You nailed it. Same pitch and foul back to the right again. Lau in the Fremont series played in all 3 games, went 2 for 10 with a run batted in. He has 11 on the year. Wave and a miss, and 3 straight disposes of Lau, and 2nd strikeout for Riera, and he's looked good so far.
Had that walk and maybe kind of got a little confidence. He threw a couple of balls that were turned into strikes by Trezner and then got the ground out, and 3 straight strikes to Lau.
Andrew Beavers, next batter, and if there's anything he wants to do in this at-bat, it's not get hit. Beavers has been plunked in his last 2 plate appearances. Beauty of a breaking ball. That one bends right in there for a strike from Riera to Beavers. That break on that, 61 inches. Quick math, that's 5 feet. So a little bit more of a break than the starter Hay. I don't know about you watching, but these numbers, I know this flight scope's an expensive thing, and we are definitely getting our money's worth seeing just how much these are really breaking, because we're a good distance from home plates, but just seeing the actual numbers is really cool.
And 5 feet on the break, and then you bring a fastball back at 88 miles an hour. That's why Riera is a Division I prospect, and nice to see a little bit of an A game here the last few batters.
Inside, just misses. Good placement from the fastball there, and that just missed off the inside corner. So count goes to 2-2 to Beavers. Beavers' only other at-bat was kind of a controversial call in the first, is when he was ruled out of the baseline by home plate umpire Jake Yeager, but that was after a review. And they still ended up scoring 1 that inning, but definitely could have been more. So that looks big. But the Zaps still hold a 4-run lead. 2-2 from Riera. Fly ball to the right side. Hiltbrand going over towards the line. Loses the glasses, but catches it. And that is 2 up and 2 down, and 4 straight retired for Riera.
Hope he didn't step on him. Yeah, I saw that flash of light as well, and he does pick them up. Apparently, they're no worse for the wear, and Sodbusters' chance to get a 1-2-3 inning here in the 8th.
Last chance for Duncan Field fans to take advantage of a strikeout from the beer batter. That's Gage Huffman. Fans got their wish in the 2nd inning when Huffman was caught looking. He has since walked and grounded into a double play. Riera delivers the first pitch, and it's in there for strike 1.
And I think they deserve to get the discounted beer for a double play. I mean, the double play, you get 2 outs for that.
That would make sense. 0-1, breaking ball. That stays high for ball 1. Huffman out of Milligan University. Hasn't had much playing time in 2 years. Played in 28 games and has not recorded a hit. But he's played better in the summer. Takes a high strike for strike 2 as that pitch just catches the top of the zone, and Huffman not too pleased with the call. He'll take a sec to recuperate. So the count 1-2. Slow clap coming. And maybe Huffman has something in his eye, kind of dealing with his eye area. Or maybe just a play to slow down the clap here. It's not going to win you many favors here, Mr. Huffman. All right, 1-2. Let's see what Riera has in store. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Caught looking is Gage Huffman, and 3rd strikeout for Nico Riera, who has a 1-2-3 inning. And the Sodbusters will come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 4.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Sodbusters have 6 outs to work with. They get to the Zap bullpen, and first man they'll face is Tim Dixon, the left-hander out of Vermilion, South Dakota. Went to Vermilion High School and now plays at the North Central University Rams. So Dixon, the left-hander, making his first appearance with the Zap this year. In his freshman year at NCU this year, appeared in 8 games and had 18 innings of work, 12 strikeouts with an earned run average of 14.00. So Sodbusters will see a left-hander, and I don't have the stats on him, but it seems like Sodbusters have not seen a whole lot of left-handers this year at home.
Just haven't been a whole lot of, I mean, I keep just having flashbacks to Benish from the
I don't know how I forgot about him, but
that, and I know that's a guy you want to put out of your mind because he's so good, but but it doesn't seem like there's a great number of left-handers in the league, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
The only other guy I can think of is Nick Flores with the Casper Spuds, who isn't with the team anymore. So first batter is top of the order Taylor Gill, and he takes ball 1 from Dixon.
And the prospects also had that Madison Bumgarner look-alike to come in and close that doubleheader the other night.
Yeah, I just try to close those last 2 games out of my head.
Got it.
It was so encouraging, that Game 1 win against the prospects earlier this week, and then the next 2 games, the Sodbusters went back to their old ways against the prospects. So Dixon has missed with 2 straight, and he floats that one in there for strike 1. That one at 68 miles an hour.
But I think optimism is high because, ladies and gentlemen, the Sodbusters are in the Zap bullpen. Here we go.
Sodbusters and Zap, like we mentioned, have had their pitching struggles, and that's a generous call in the inside corner to Taylor Gill. And at the top of the zone, too, and borderline pitch could have gone either way. So from 2-0 now to 2-2 to Gill. Left-hander delivers, waves and misses, ball in the dirt. So I'll have to throw down to first. And it's in time as Arnold throws out to complete the strikeout. And first man Dixon faces as a strikeout, 1 up and 1 down.
Really disappointed for Taylor Gill as he struck out on ball 3. Had that borderline pitch go against him, but Sodbusters were so good the other day against the prospects in that win, not striking out today, double digits in strikeouts.
That curveball was a Marcus Miller curveball right there, 64 miles an hour. Pitches way inside to Lane Shires. So Dixon has not shown any velocity quite yet. See if he's hiding anything. Ground ball weakly to second base. Seagraves come charging in. Underhand toss and get Shires by a step. 2 up and 2 down.
One reason the Sodbusters have only 2 runs on the board, they have not gotten their leadoff man on base all night long.
So that is now 9 straight retired by Zap pitching, and the second said occurrence in this game. So the 2-out hope resides in Cale Jensen. Jensen 1 of 5 Sodbuster hits. Lefty delivers, and that's ball 1. Dixon almost looks like he's throwing it just at half speed. Has the windup and kind of tosses it in there. Check swing, and Jensen meant to lay off, but puts that in the concrete.
And you talk about tough to rally. The Sodbusters have 5 hits. All of them have come with 2 outs. So it's hard to do 2-out rallies, that 4th inning notwithstanding for the Sodbusters today.
1-1 to Jensen. Slower than slow breaking ball, 61.5. Not the slowest we've seen this year at Duncan Field, but that definitely cracks the top 10, I would have to guess. Count now to 2-1. Fastball upstairs for ball 3, so see if Jensen has a green light. 3-1. You have Marcos Cabranes, the team's hit leader, on deck. Dixon with a deep breath and the 3-1. High fly ball to the right field. Lau over towards the foul line and makes the catch about 5 feet in fair territory. Dixon, in his first appearance for the Zap, goes 1-2-3, and the Sodbusters have been set down 10 straight batters. Final call for both teams. We go to the 9th inning, 6-2, OAHE.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. Now, my job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds.
3 straight innings with zeros put up by both pitching staffs. The Sodbusters find themselves on the short end of a 6-2 advantage, and Nico Riera back on the mound. And for Sodbuster bullpen, especially with Riera, who's been shaky, Steve, this has been a pretty darn good outing for him so far.
Yeah, really some things to build on, and you hate to have those consolation prizes. Maybe there'll be a rally for the Sodbusters, but 2 notes today. I mean, Braden Mackey had struggled so mightily, but for him to come in and put up an inning and 2/3 of scoreless relief, and then Nico Riera not only scoreless, but pretty dominant, particularly in that 8th, striking out 2 of the 3 men he's faced, 3 strikeouts through his first 2 innings. He'll get rewarded with another inning right here, and like I say, we knew he was a Division I prospect, Cal State Irvine, but really showing why today, as you talked about the break on his curveball and hits almost 90 miles an hour with the fastball. So excited about him here the final couple of weeks of the season on what he can do if he can have that kind of command for the Hastings Sodbusters. He'll face 9-1-2 to try to give the team a realistic chance at the bottom of the ninth. It's a 4-run deficit, but you feel like the opportunity is there if Hastings can still be within 4 heading into the bottom of the frame. Tyler Trapphagen tries to get things started. He's been perfect today. A triple, a single, 2 runs scored. He's also walked, as that number 9 hitter has really been tough on Hastings. Takes the pitch outside for ball 1, 1 ball and no strikes on Tyler Trapphagen. Trapphagen against the Sodbusters. Limited playing time, 2 for 5 coming into today, but 2 more hits. Had a multi-hit game, so he takes a strike here, 1 ball and 1 strike. Trapphagen went 2 for 3, a triple, 3 runs batted in, and a run scored in the second game of the 6 played between these two teams. That up in Pier was a win for the Trappers, the second game of that series way back on June 10th, an 8-2 win for the Zap. I think I keep calling them the Trappers because they used to be the Pier Trappers, and even though I don't think I ever called a Pier Trappers game. Bouncing ball right side, second baseman's got it. Gill throws out Trapphagen for the first time today. He's retired and back to the top of the order for Trevor Seagraves for the OAHE Zap, leading at 6-2 here in the ninth. So Trapphagen gone for the first time today, and now Seagraves bats. He is 0 for 4, but has still produced. Knocked in a run with a ground out back in the third, reached on an error, and scored in the fifth. That fifth inning, the one that Hastings would love to have back. Walk, error, hit batsman in that frame to go along with a couple of hits. Pitch inside, 1 ball and 1 strike of the leadoff man, Trevor Seagraves. As they were able to make the most of the opportunities presented them in that particular frame. Here's Riero with the 1-1 pitch. It's high and tight for ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the ninth. Sodbusters going to try to rally in the bottom half of the frame. They have out-hit the Zap 5-3 in the game, but trail it 6-2. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. And heading down to first will be Trevor Seagraves. So Seagraves aboard. Comes the second walk issued by Riera to go along with his 3 strikeouts. And it'll be Jackson Mix up there. Mix is 0 for 3. He's lined out to left and lined to center twice. Swung the bat pretty well, but nothing to show for it. 0 for 3. He's also walked, and he takes a strike right here. No balls and a strike as 87 miles an hour on that fastball from Nico Riera. 6-2, Sodbusters trail it. Throw to first, not in time. Pretty high. Gaz able to bring it in cleanly, and hustling back on the bag is Trevor Seagraves. It's Jackson Mix. He's been with this team from day one. Takes the pitch just a little bit outside. Count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. He's played in 4 of the 6 games against the Sodbusters, had a 3-hit contest in the 6th meeting. A win for the Sodbusters, 12-3. A decent lead over at first for Seagraves. 1 on, 1 out. See if they try to get him into scoring position. And pitch taken for a strike. 1-2 on Jackson Mix, the number 2 hitter in the order for the OAHE Zap. Looking to go 2 games over 500 in the second half standings. Sodbusters are 9 games below 500 in the second half. Casper leading the second half standings at 11-5. The winner of the second half will play Fremont for the championship. 1-2 pitch high, throw back to first and back in safely. Seagraves, pretty good gun for Cabranes. Gaz applying the tag, but Seagraves back in safely. Count to 2-2. Casper Spuds 11-5, and the way Fremont has started this second half, it doesn't look like there's going to be a huge danger of them winning both halves, so it's going to come down to who wins that second half. Casper, Badlands, and OAHE all over 500. Spearfish is right at 500 at this point. 2-2 pitch. Beauty. Called strike 3 as Mix could not pull the trigger, and strikeout number 4 for Nico Riera.
Good backdoor breaking ball there. Just caught enough of the plate and to get the call there. Now a 1-out walk, just looking a little bit less here, but you still got to get Mamarian out, who's going to be a tough guy to get out.
Kyle Mamarian, third in the batting order, as he is 1 for 3 on the day. 6-4-3 double play his first time up, grounded out to the shortstop, and he also has an RBI single to his credit as part of that pivotal 5th inning. That's the difference in the game. 4 runs, just 2 of them earned in that 5th, as Sodbusters struggled in a lot of different ways in that inning and have now been able to recover. No runs across since their 4th inning when they plated both of their runs. Pitch missing for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes on Mamarian. Standing in the right-handed box. A little bigger lead for Seagraves. We'll see if he takes off. He does not. Gun back to first. Oh. Safe. Landon Gaz applied the tag, and he can't believe it. And Seagraves is back in safely. Sodbuster fans aren't too pleased either, and I think Joel Skipper going to ask to see if the home plate umpire had a little better look at it to see whether the tag got on.
That's a bang play right there, but it from our vantage point, it almost looked like Gaz swiped the swipe tag, missed the hands, and hit the jersey, and then by that time, Seagraves able to get his hands back in safely, but definitely could have gone either way there. Sometimes if you see the ball beat the guy as the umpire, you're just going to call him out. But good play by Stroman to get that.
And I really thought the tag actually hit on the foul side of first base initially, so I think it was the right call. The Sodbuster fans don't agree. And now 3-0 the count on Mamarian. And the pitch is rifled to left field. Jensen fading back, and he will have room and make the catch after all of that. No run score on no hits. 1 man left right at the bottom of the 9th. Last chance for the Sodbusters. It's 6-2 Zap, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Let's face it, we move our bodies around a lot. And sometimes things happen. A tweak, twist, pull, strain, ache, or pain. At Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care, their goal is to restore your mobility, keep you moving, and ensure your rehabilitation is effective, efficient, and stress-free. Do you suffer from headaches and neck pain, lower back or sciatica? Call Fisk Chiropractic and Sports Care today. Start to discover wellness through chiropractic care. FiskChiropracticSportsClinic.com. Start feeling better now.
Hastings College has reimagined everything. As a sophomore, you'll spend part of a semester studying abroad, and they'll cover the cost. Recognizing it's a digital world and how you learn, they'll give you an iPad Pro and Apple Pencil, tools that'll help you engage, whether you're on campus or in Paris, plus internship opportunities and professors who mentor you. Hastings even provides books. At Hastings College, you'll go somewhere. Go to hastings.edu/discover for more.
At the bottom of the 9th, Sodbusters' last chance. They trail it by a score of 6-2, trying to find a way to rally. Feel like there's an opportunity, but not a whole lot of things to cheer about since that 4th inning. Sodbusters plating 2 runs with 2 outs, and they got 2 aboard with 2 outs in the 5th, and they do not have a base runner since that time. Try to do it against Tim Dixon, who was perfect in his first opportunity. A strikeout, a ground out, and a flyout against the number 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the lineup.
In just 6 games this season have the Sodbusters scored in the 9th inning. That tallies out to a total of 11 runs. In 1 game, they had 6 runs in the 9th inning. Is against this team right here in Pierre.
Can they get her done today? We will find out. Sodbusters trying to find a way. Just 3 hits allowed by Sodbuster pitching, but walks, hit batsman, and an error in that 5th inning. The undoing for the Sodbusters. The pitch across for strike. No balls and 1 strike, and probably go up there trying to take a strike if you're Hastings, down by 4. And at 68 miles an hour, he was able to get it in there, Tim Dixon. Dixon, the lefty, out of the stretch, and the 0-1 delivery. Beauty, right across. Strike 2.
it's so tough as a hitter when you're seeing 89, 88 miles an hour in your first 3 at-bats, then you have to go to a guy who's throwing about 20 miles per hour less. It's really hard to time that up.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. This is outside, really good placement there. If Cabranes does swing, he rolls it over and probably grounds out to the second baseman. 1-2 the count on Marcos Cabranes. See if Sodbusters can get a runner on with less than 2 outs. They have not done that today. Pitch in the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And, you know, it's so much comfort for the opposing defense when you're not putting any pressure on them. Even if there is a 2-out hit, you know you just need 1 more out to get out of it. And consequently, OAHE really hasn't been under any kind of pressure, and they have no errors in the game. They're able to play free and easy, and a lot of that thanks to Caleb Hay, who was great at throwing strike 1 and a lot of times strike 2 and strike 3 as well. Pitch inside, almost got a piece of Marcos. It's now 3 balls and 2 strikes coming all the way back from 2-0 down. Marcos Cabranes 0 for 2 in the game. A couple of strikeouts, but a walk and a run scored. That coming back in the 4th inning, the only runs that the Sodbusters got. 3-2 pitch. Hit hard but fouled. It remains 3-2. So you don't feel like it's over. There are certain games when it's a 4-run deficit in the 9th. You feel like, okay, the other team brings in their 90-mile-an-hour guy, and it's see you later. But you feel like there's a chance here if Hastings has the right approach in this 9th inning. 3-2 pitch on the way. High for ball 4. Really good effort there for Marcos Cabranes. And for the first time in the game, the Sodbusters have their leadoff man aboard.
Long overdue, but again, great battle by Cabranes, going down 0-2 and able to bounce back and get the leadoff walk there. And now you have some momentum with the right guys coming up.
Nick Jones singled and scored back in the 4th. He also has grounded out and popped up. And here comes Dixon, 4 straight out of the zone after he started 0-2. There was a foul ball in there, and he throws a first pitch strike. Gets that one to drop in at 63 miles an hour. No balls and 1 strike on Nick Jones.
Got to wonder if Cabranes might be stealing here. He's a left-handed pitcher, but with him so slow, he might be able to steal second if they so choose.
If you're not down 4, I think there's a higher likelihood, but it is the 9th inning, and the Sodbusters have to have base runners. It'll be interesting to see what head coach Joel Skipper comes up with. A really small lead for Cabranes if he is going to take off. And you'd kind of like to get a look at that move from the left-hander before you do take off. Pitch is way outside. Right now, Marcos isn't going anywhere because he was heading back to first when Tim Dixon took it to the plate. He has not gotten a good read on the potential move for Dixon's. Lefties sometimes are hard to read. 1-2 now on Nick Jones. Here's the pitch. Curveball inside. And if you're a Buster fan there, you kind of breathe a sigh of relief. Is that going to fall in? It had a lot of drop on it, 62 miles an hour, but I think it was off the inside part of the plate, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Jones. Dixon, a look at the runner at first. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Jones could not make contact there on that 69 mile an hour fastball, and it's 1 on and 1 out now for Anthony Chavez.
69 mile per hour something, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just so tough after seeing that high velo and going down to the high 60s. It's tough to time up.
But plus, Hay had it all. I mean, 89 mile an hour fastball and a tremendous curveball, a little changeup too, and so Sodbusters maybe still feeling the effects of Hay, even though Dixon now in his 2nd inning. Cabranes a little bit bigger lead now. Chavez first pitch swinging and pops it up. And one thing about it, Dixon has gotten strike 1 to every batter here in the 9th. He's coming out and challenging Hastings. And here at Duncan Field, up by 4, challenge the batters. And you want to know one of the key stats of today. Sodbuster pitchers have given up a bunch of free passes, 7 walks, 4 hit batsmen. And on the other side, just 2 walks today for OAHE and no hit batsman.
Oh my.
Big swing, and Chavez nearly screwed himself into the ground there. Hopefully he's okay as he gets up and makes his way back to the batter's box. It's a couple of strikes on Anthony Chavez.
Gotta watch out for an ankle there.
0-2, and again, don't try to do too much. Just need base runners. You're not going to hit a grand slam home run with 1 on and 1 out. Just find a way to reach here. A single, a blooper, hit batsmen, find a way to get base runners to challenge this OAHE team. This is still a squad which is well below 500 on the year, this latest streak notwithstanding. Here's the pitch, beauty. And no chance for Chavez, could not pull the trigger, and you could see it coming. There were 2 outs in the inning. Here's Landon Gas. Could not get the bat off the shoulder in the 62-mile-an-hour curve, and that was a beauty for Tim Dixon. You just give a tip of the hat to that left-hander who's now on the verge of getting out of this with no damage done. Landon Gas, last hope for the Sodbusters. Cabranes leads away from first, and a balk is called. Cabranes a little bit of a flinch, and Dixon had a bigger one, so now there's a runner in scoring position with 2 men out, and Dixon went over to have a word with the field umpire to try to get an exact interpretation of what happened, and now there's a runner in scoring position. So Landon Gas trying to keep it going. Sodbusters need a couple more base runners to make it really interesting here in the bottom of the ninth. Dixon brings it home. Inside, take that, by golly. It's not a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Take that one off the ankle, or maybe the thigh or something. 68 miles an hour on that one. I've loved to have been hit by a pitch to get another base runner. It's easy for me to say because broadcasters seldom get hit by a pitch because I would cry. 1-0 delivery from Dixon, and that one is on the inside corner. Beauty there, strike 1, as the first time in this inning that Dixon threw ball 1 to a batter. He's been pretty sharp, throwing pitches when he needs to. That walk notwithstanding to Cabranes, he jumped in front of Marcos 0-2. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Curveball and a little bit too low. It started shoulder high, it looked like, and then ends up in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. Seen really good breaking balls from a lot of the pitchers here today. 2-1 the count with 2 outs. Sodbusters down to their final 2 strikes, their final out as they trail it 6-2. Just 2 runs in the 4th, the only offense against this Zap team. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and off speed just outside. 3-1. One thing about it, if you're the home plate umpire, Jake Yeager, a lot of time to watch it and make the call.
And sometimes you can give up on it too, you know. It's easy to do, and yeah, that's a tough pitch to take right there regardless.
Dixon brings home the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a bouncing ball foul, and unfortunate there because I think Chavez may, or I should say Gaz may have swung at ball 4 and need base runners. Now it's 3-2. And here comes the curve, or the 68-mile-an-hour fastball. It's hard to tell.
You know how fast it's going to be. The question is, what is it going to do?
Yeah, yep. Because it dances a lot out there. No wind now at Duncan Field. Really a gorgeous night for baseball, as we'll have a little bit of a delay as Marcos Cabranes reties his left shoe. 3-2, 2 outs. Sodbusters down to their final strike, trailing the OAHE Zap. Zap trying to win their 3rd game in 7 tries against the Sodbusters, and now Dixon wants time as he wants another sign here from the catcher Garrett Arnold. Arnold in relief of Trenton Dukeshire, who went out after being hit by a pitch. 3-2 with 2 outs. Dixon a check of the runner. And the pitch. Swing and a foul ball. I guess just gets a piece of that one, and he'll try again on that 62-mile-an-hour dropper.
I don't know about you. I didn't hear a tick there, and I was wondering why everyone was going, but there must have been something. That's about as close as you can get right there to fouling that pitch off and striking out.
3-2 with 2 outs once again. Dixon likes the sign, comes set, checks the runner at second, and brings it home. Little bit low, very close. Okay. It's been like pulling teeth, but the Sodbusters do have 2 on in the 9th. Need another one to make it real interesting, and the person of Josh Prenner, who's struggled mightily today. He's probably really happy that Caleb Hayes out of there. Went 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts against him, but now he has to adjust his eye level to the 68-mile-an-hour and below of Tim Dixon. 2 on, 2 outs. Dixon brings it in. Strike 1. Again, hey, give him credit. For the most part, he has been throwing strikes. 68 miles an hour on that one. 6 runs, 3 hits for OAHE. The Sodbusters 2 runs, 5 hits, and the huge error that opened the door for a couple of unearned runs of their 4 back in the pivotal fifth. Pitch missing for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Trying to show some patience. Just wish you could have found a way to generate something there in the 5th through the 8th. Awfully tough to come back. 4 runs down in the 9th. And Dixon takes his time, checks the runners, brings home the pitch. High and tight. 2-1 on Josh Printer.
Printer definitely not a pull hitter, but Traphagen out in left field playing really far away from the line. They probably know that Printer likes to go around the shortstop area as he is right behind the shortstop Benarian.
2-1 the count. Printer hits this one down that aforementioned left field line, and that is extra bases. 1 run will score. The Sodbusters will have runners at second and third, and Ryan Valenta, oh my goodness, did you call that? He pulled it there, and if you're going to pull a guy, it's probably going to be the one that only throws 68 miles an hour, as we see Printer pick up the double, the run batted in, and now it's real interesting as the tying run will come to the plate for the Hastings Sodbusters. Cabrana scores, Gaz ends up at third, and Kyle Hiltbrandt, don't try to do too much, get another runner on and see what happens.
I think that's probably my first, maybe second one of the year, but Printer, if you're listening to me right now, don't try and score on a base hit unless you're sure.
Yep. Because your run still means nothing. Guess what? Strike 1. Dixon, oh no. That's somewhere that missed. 1 ball and no strikes on Hiltbrandt. He's ahead in the count. Still work the count if you can. Got to get another base runner. Get the tying run on there. Because in all likelihood, Kyle Hiltbrandt, with all due respect to you, you're probably not going to hit it out of Duncan Field to tie the game. Just move the line. Get on. Get back to the top of the order. And Hiltbrandt tried to check his swing, could not. It's 1-1. That's a huge call. Instead of 2-0, 1-1, Kyle has to battle here. He's 0 for 3.
That's just such a tough call there. Yeah, you think you check your swing and then you don't, and then now you're facing a 1-1 count. Kyle's just got to recuperate and settle down here.
A couple of strikeouts and a ground out, his first 3 plate appearances today, and swings and misses here, and now the Sodbusters down to their final strike again, and Kyle will reset as he takes the helmet off, puts it back on. Sodbusters trying to battle here in the 9th. They've scored 1 so far. Sodbusters picking up a hit in this inning, and now I've out-hit OAHE 6-3. Pitch inside and it hits him. Kyle Hiltbrandt, HBP on a 1-2 pitch, and we're back to the top of the order. The tying runs are on for the Hastings Sodbusters, and it's 6-3.
I'm definitely happy about that outcome, but you know, there is a chance there. Hiltbrandt just kind of froze like a statue, and the rule book says you have to make an attempt to get out of the way of that pitch. I mean, with the umpire right behind him, couldn't tell exactly, but it didn't look like Hiltbrandt made too much of an effort. But we don't care about that. He's the tying run on base now, and now you have the top of the order.
And it looks like there is going to be a pitching change made. We will take a break. Game not over yet. It's 6-3. We'll just keep it right here as the Sodbusters, they are on the short end. They have now out-hit OAHE 6-3. And we were hoping to see the Sodbusters get a chance at the OAHE bullpen. They didn't do too much in the 8th inning, but here in the 9th, Sodbusters have found a way as they get the walk after a pair of strikeouts. Walk, double, hit batsman, and the Sodbusters never say die. And now it's going to be a new right-hander in there for the OAHE Zap. And it's going to be number 23, Kyle Mamarian. He will move over and take the pitching mound from the shortstop position. So Mamarian comes in, and he will pitch here to try to close things down.
Second time that Mamarian will pitch here this season. Just 2 innings of work, and last time he pitched was just about a month ago against Spearfish on June the 24th, where looked pretty good in his 2 innings, just allowed 1 hit, no runs, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. So with no ERA, and opponents were just hitting 143 off him in that game. So probably didn't want this to come to this, but hoping that Dixon could get those last 3 outs. But now you send on one of your hard throwers again to close this one out. And how does that change the Sodbusters now? They've been seeing a guy for the past 2 innings who's been throwing lob balls, and now you've got a guy with somebody with some speed. So it'll be interesting to see if the Sodbuster hitters can adjust to this.
On the change, Trevor Seagraves moves over to shortstop, and there's a new second baseman for OAHE who came into the game, so we'll try to check that defense as well. But first things first, it's Taylor Gill. How about a double, and let's get this baby tied up. First pitch to Gill. Outside corner for strike one. No balls, 1 strike. Huge difference between 0-1 and 1-0. And that borderline pitch going for the Zap as Mamarian trying to come in and get a tough save. 6-3. Sodbusters tying runs on. 0-1 delivery and a bouncing ball right side foul. It got a piece of Gill in the box, but quickly 2 strikes on Gill, who limps around here. He's got that leg protector, but I think it missed that, and he is in some pain right now.
Surprised to see that ball go all the way out to first. Usually when it hits you, it kind of dies at the plate, but Gill appears to be all right. Sodbusters, again, down to their last strike. They've battled back twice before.
7, 8, and 9 all reaching in the 9th inning after they had no reaching through the first 8 innings for that part of the order. 0-2. Mamarian brings it in. Line drive, left center field, carrying pretty well, and that's going to fall. 1 run scores. Here's a 2nd run home. The 3rd run comes home. It is a 3-run double for Taylor Gill, and the Hastings Sodbusters have rallied to tie it in the 9th.
Taylor Gill, how do you do? Just your first week in Hastings, and now you will be remembered for the rest of the season. As we mentioned, the Sodbusters struggling to score in the 9th inning. They'd only done it 6 games, and holy cow, perfectly placed. I was actually thinking about it. That gap looked a little big in the left center field, and Gill goes the opposite way. And unlike other outfielders here at Duncan Field, neither Huffman nor Traphagen able to get that one.
And now the Sodbusters have the winning run at second, and a guy who's been swinging a good bat here in the last few weeks, Lane Shires, a chance to win this game against Mamarian and the OAHE Zap. 6-6 in the 9th. Here's the pitch to Shires. First pitch swinging. It's up the middle. Second baseman's got it. Throws to first in time, and let's play some bonus baseball. Ladies and gentlemen, we head to the 10th. Hastings down to its final strike on 3 different occasions. They rally to tie. It is 6-6, and this is Sodbuster Baseball.
Are you tired of lousy internet and faceless customer service? It's time to experience local, honest, hassle-free, and exceptional. That's the Allo promise. We not only provide crazy fast fiber internet, crystal clear TV, and dependable phone service, but we choose to become a part of the communities we serve and love when everyone calls or stops by our store to say Allo. So don't settle for mediocre, settle for exceptional with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/local.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
We head to the 10th inning. The Hastings Sodbusters get 4 runs on 2 doubles in that 9th inning. The RBI double from Josh Brenner, the 3-run double from Taylor Gill, as OAHE helped out with a couple of walks and a hit batsman, and we head to the 10th inning. Once again, here's Ryan Valenta.
And Sodbusters now have their guy on the mound, the guy you want to set the tone and close out games, Jacob Shaw. Jacob Shaw been used as the closer here in the season, and he will come on here for not a save appearance, but Shaw will come into the game here in the 10th inning for Shaw's 14th appearance. 19 innings pitched, a 2.58 ERA. Opponents hitting just 203 off Shaw. Shaw has a 1-1 record and has the lone sodbuster save of the season. So per extra inning rules here in the Independence League, the last out of the inning will be placed on second base. And that will be Kyle Mamarian, who came on to pitch, but was not able to hold it down. So Jacob Shaw on the mound. He will try and keep this thing tied. And how about the Sodbusters? We think they're out of the game, 6-2. They hadn't scored since the 4th inning. And how about the second baseman Taylor Gill etching himself in the 2023 season history for the Sodbusters?
Well, a lot of guys. I mean, 4 runs. A lot of guys had to step up. It began with, Marcos Cabranes. He's down on the count 0-2, battles back to get a walk. After a couple of strikeouts, you're down to really your final hope. Landon Gaz able to work around a couple of strikes. He gets a walk. And then Josh Printer with the big double. Kyle Hiltbrandt's down on the count, gets hit by a pitch, so they keep it going to get to the top of the order. And you thought Taylor Gill had the capability, and that is the largest hit of this game to this point as he brings home 3. And so the Sodbusters now put a 0 on the board and see what they can get done in the 10th.
So 4, 5, and 6 are due up for the Zap. The Zap scoring 6 runs on just 3 hits. Last time they scored was that big 4 spot in the 5th inning. And start us off, we'll have a pinch hitter. Cy Probst will take the place of Jacob Trusner. Probst on the year, playing in his 16th game now as a .304 average, 5 doubles, 5 RBIs, 6 walks, 12 strikeouts. Did not play in the weekend series in Fremont. So Trusner finishes his day 0 for 3. You have Mamarian, the team's leading base stealer, the free runner at second base. Squares to bunt, pulls back, and Shaw misses with that fastball. Count is 1-0. Shaw has pitched multiple innings, multiple times, and could probably go as long as he needed to if it were up to him. Pitched 2 innings in the Badlands series, foul ball, is not able to get that bunt down as Probst, and the count goes to 1-1.
I'm a little surprised they're bunting Probst because he has torn up the Sodbusters this year. 7 out of 16, 437, 2 multi-hit games, including a double and a home run in one of the contests, but they're wanting him to bunt to try to get Mamarian over to third.
So that means half of Probst's hits have come against the Sodbusters. 1-1 count, Shaw looking in. Shaw, a returner for the Sodbusters. Usually sees late inning action. Shows to bunt again. Popped up and catches it. And not a good start for the Zap as Probst pops up the bunt, and it was right to Shaw, who had no trouble catching that for out number 1.
And that's so big to get that first out and keep the runner at second. Really a chance to get out of this with no damage done now, as they will have an opportunity to bat their catcher now, Garrett Arnold.
Arnold in the game. He will have his 3rd plate appearance. He's 0 for 1 and was hit by a pitch in the 5th. Correct that. That's 0 for 1. It was Dukeshire that was hit by the pitch. That was roped foul towards the Sodbuster bullpen. There's a loud first strike. It's 0-1 to Garrett Arnold.
Yeah, Arnold came in and had to run for Dukeshire because Dukeshire just couldn't continue after he gets drilled in the back, and we hope he's okay and will be able to play the rest of the series.
So just the ground out to Arnold's credit so far. Go ahead run in scoring position as per extra inning rules. Mamarian at second. There is ball 1, so the count goes to 1-1. Shaw had been almost perfect the start of the year. It wasn't until later in the season when Shaw finally got hit around a little bit. Only allowed an earned run in 3 of his 13 appearances. Breaking ball, perfect spot, down and away for strike 2. And Arnold down to his last strike. Got Preston Lau on deck, who's 0 for 3. Shaw delivers. Foul ball to the right side, and count remains at 1-2. Shaw's been the guy to keep it where it is here this season. 7 earned runs in 19 innings pitched. 20 strikeouts. You would take number 21 right here. Marion with good speed. Likely try to see him score for a ball in the outfield. Time's called as we will reset. Approaching 3 hours of game time here at Duncan Field. Surprisingly, still one of the quicker games here this season. Ball's outside. Almost a little flinch by Jake Yeager, the home plate umpire. Thought they had him there, and Scott's wondering where that pitch was. It was a ball, Scott, but he was wondering where it is. He said it was up and away. He's like, so it was a strike? No. So count goes to 2-2. Arnold still in there. And time's called again as Shaw and Cabranes just taking a little too long getting signs in there. Sodbusters tie the game with 4 in the 9th thanks to a bases clearing double from Taylor Gill. 2-2. Ground ball softly. Printer charges in. Off balance throw in time. Great play by Josh Printer to get the second out. Marion does advance to third, but he's there now with 2 outs. And one more sends the Sodbusters back to bat.
And that's a tough play when you're playing in the second inning of a scoreless game. But when you're in the 10th inning and you have to make everything just right, that is a great play for Josh Printer. Now the Sodbusters on the verge of trying to get out of this with no damage done to have a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 10th.
Preston Lau 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts, and grounded into a double play. First pitch swinging, there's strike 1 out of play. Fans still loud, and fans for the most part, probably for the all part, no one left the ballpark early, and they are been treated to extra baseball here. Good breaking ball, but Lau lays off for ball 1.
I mean, a lot of reasons, partly because it's a good game, partly because they had a chance to win a Traeger grill before it was all said and done. Nobody's leaving early. Got to be present to win that baby.
I didn't see anyone come up and say, first, great stop by Cabranes to keep Marion at third, but if it was me that went in it, I'd be shouting up and down, but nobody did, so hopefully they didn't leave early. So 2-1 to Preston Lau. Lau has only put it in play once and has put it in play to the left side. Up the middle and through for a base hit, and Lau comes through to score Marion with the RBI single, and what a way to get your first hit of the series. It comes at a perfect time. And it's now 7-6. The Zapper back in front.
No doubt about that one. As Lau, a great job. Just took it right back up the middle. No chance for Printer. And now Hastings will definitely need 1 to tie in the bottom of the 10th inning. It may change the way they go about things. And, of course, this OAHE team not done yet.
That close to getting out of the inning, but Sodbusters playing Lau a little bit over to the left side. Not necessarily to hard pull, but solidly struck hit ball. Credit to Lau there. Pitch is strike 1 to Andrew Beavers. Beavers has been hit by a pitch twice, grounded out and flied out. Foul ball to the right side, and Beavers down to his last strike as Shaw gets ahead of him 0-2. 87 on the fastball, so Shaw's velocity looking good here in his 10th inning of work.
And the Zap, I'm sure, disappointed they couldn't win this in regulation, but they're just coming off an extra inning win on Wednesday. So a team that's pretty confident here in the extra frame, even though they did not have the Mo heading into the 10th.
Last 2 games for the Zap decided by 1 run. It is now a 1-run game again. 0-2. Ground ball, and that'll get through into left field for a base hit. So back-to-back 2-out singles. First Lau and this time Beavers. And the Zap have 2 on with 2 out and first hit of the day for Beavers.
And the Sodbusters going against the Zap team that says, yeah, we'll see what we can do with 2 outs. Sodbusters scoring all of their runs in the 9th inning with 2 outs. And now here in the 10th, the OAHE down to their final out, able to get back-to-back singles, and they try to put a big tack-on run on now with their number 8 hitter.
First pitch is a called strike to Gage Huffman. Huffman's had a frustrating day at the plate, been caught looking twice, grounded into a double play, but did walk and score part of that 4-run 5th inning. Zap leads 7-6 on a Preston Lau RBI single. Off speed is blocked by Cabranes to keep the runners put.
These 2 hits in the 10th, the first hits for OAHE since the 5th. So, I mean, the Sodbusters have done a great job of keeping the OAHE team off the scoreboard and from getting hits.
Big swing and a miss as Hoffman comes up empty on that big fastball from Shaw. And that one again at 87 miles per hour at the top of the zone. So just like the Sodbusters were in the 9th inning, now the Zap down to their last strike and looking for more. Outfield and infield played pretty normally, left side playing a little bit back. Fouled off towards the Sodbuster dugout, and we'll do it again. Sodbusters had outscored the Zap 40-21 in 6 games played. They find themselves a run down today. Swing and a miss. Curveball from Shaw, and he gets the batter swinging. So the free runner comes around to score, and the Sodbusters will try to do the same in the bottom of the 10th. Right guys coming up. We'll be right back.
There's nothing like relaxing on a summer day. Nothing like taking in a Hastings Sodbuster baseball game. And there's nothing like an ice-cold Pepsi to make the day perfect. Pepsi Cola of Hastings wants to make your nothing like be the best day it can be, whatever the occasion. Enjoy your favorite refreshing Pepsi product throughout the Sodbuster season and make your nothing like memories. Pepsi Cola of Hastings, a proud sponsor of Hastings Sodbuster Baseball.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com.
Free baseball here in Hastings at Duncan Field. The free runner for the Zap come around to score in the 10th inning, so the Sodbusters will try and do the same and more here in the bottom of the 10th. They have Cale Jensen, Marcos Cabranes, and Nick Jones. Right guys at the right time. And that free runner for the Sodbusters is Lane Shires, one of the fastest guys on the team. So you would hope that any little base hit could hopefully drive in that run. So Mamarian's back on for the Zap. He pitches to Jensen. Breaking balls high and away for ball 1. Center and right field, Huffman and Lau playing a little bit farther back. If Jensen can just plug one in front of them, the Sodbusters are in business. Pitch to Jensen. Check swing, didn't go, and called a ball.
And
pitch was high.
Interesting to see how Hastings, we saw OAHE bunt Sodbusters with Cale Jensen up there, one of the top RBI guys. He's not bunting.
No, no chance. And he's ahead in the count 2-0. Pot pitches high for ball 3. So now, do you give Jensen the green light here, 3-0?
No, you want to win it. I think you take a base runner right here, and you still have Cabranes, Jones, and Chavez. I mean, you're in the part of the batting order you want. So I'm thinking he's taken. Get that second base runner, and you're thinking not about 1, but about 2 then.
Jensen singled in the first, but is 0 for 3 since. And there's ball 4. Pitches outside, so Marion misses on 4 straight. Now you have 1 on and 2 out, but if you're Zap infield, now you have a double play in order.
Yeah, that's the one scary thing. Even though the Sodbusters have tremendous speed, you've got a guy who hits it hard at a lot of places, and you just hope it's not right at an infielder. Now here's a question. Cabranes, always good at putting it in play. Do you bunt him?
You could bunt him, but there's been multiple times when Cabranes has failed to get the bunt down. Corners play in, expecting a bunt, and there it is. Pulls back, and Cabranes takes high for ball 1. So Mamarion's missed high, and he has not found the strike zone this inning.
And you may have Cabranes squaring again, but with no intention to bunt, just to make sure that Mamarius can throw a strike.
1-0, pulls back, and that was inside for ball 2. So there's ball 6 from Mamarion. Mentioned Mamarion's only other outing. He pitched 2 innings in relief and was almost perfect. 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. He is behind here in the 10th. Sodbusters need 1 to tie, 2 to win. Bunt shown, gets it down, and it's to the back to the pitcher, and they'll go to third for the out. So Cabranes bunted it too hard. Mamarion heads up play to throw that to first and make a good throw nonetheless. And now Cabranes will trade places as Shires is retired and Jensen to second, and now you have your fast runner off the bases.
Yeah, really unfortunate there, and I am stunned that Cabranes was bunting. At 2-0, I could not. I really thought he would be taking regardless of what that pitch was.
First pitch is a strike to Nick Jones.
And it's unfortunate because the pitcher's the shortstop, so if he's probably the best fielder on the team, so anything that was close to him, he made the right decision, he made the right play, and it was a good call.
Jones 1 for 4 on the day, singled and scored in the 4th. Breaking ball gets the call on the outside corner, and that appeared to be a little bit off the plate. They get the home call from the home plate umpire, Jake Yeager. 0-2 to Nick Jones. He's been so good at coming back in counts and at least making the pitcher throw a few more pitches. Fly ball to center field, coming in, and that will fall for a base hit as Jensen hits the bag and will stop at third. And Jones didn't hit it too hard. It fell in front of Huffman for a base hit. And now the bases are loaded with 1 out, and now hopefully anything in the outfield or maybe anything in play can score the run.
Yep, Chavez had a really disappointing at bat in the 9th, host a bounce back here, and really this more in his wheelhouse. He just did not like that left-hander. Who does with a 60-some mile-an-hour fastball? You feel like Chavez has a much better chance against Mamarion, who will throw it in the 80s right here. And Chavez, don't try to do too much. Again, right here, just make him throw a strike.
Marion will go from the windup. The breaking ball misses high for ball 1. Jensen at third. He's the tying run. Cabranes at second, the winning run. And you have Anthony Chavez at the plate, who is 1 for 4. Chavez had that big 2 RBI double in the 4th. Foul to the left side as that's in play. That might bounce over the head of the third baseman.
He had his double swing right there. He did not get cheated. Find a way, Mr. Chavez. Again, don't have to do too much right here.
Chavez now with 9 doubles on the season, but any little base hit will tie the game. Wave and a miss. Great breaking ball from Mamarion, and Chavez was nowhere close.
Much different, 2-1 to 1-2, and now protect, 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 protect.
Marion at 17 pitches now after he came on in relief in the 9th inning. 2 hits and a walk, his ledger. 1-2 to Chavez. Got him swinging. Same pitch, and Chavez swings over the top of that and is struck out for out number 2. Sodbusters down to their last out, and Landon Gass. What seemed so promising after the Jones single, now everyone holding their breath here at Duncan Field. Sodbusters have had one walk-off win earlier this year against the Spuds. That slider is way outside for ball 1, and good stop for Arnold to keep that in front.
I mean, Marion has not had tremendous control. Gaz swung at 2 balls, and I feel like if Gaz is just a little patient here, he could get ahead in the count and maybe see a fastball groove.
Big, lots of green down the left field line. 1-0. Inside and gets the call. That one appeared to be a little inside, and that makes the count 1-1.
And that was a really funky delivery. I thought he almost balked right there. He kind of took a little pause in his windup.
1-1 to Gass. Ground ball to the second baseman on a couple hops over to first in time for out number 3. The Zap win in extra innings as the Sodbusters strand the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 10th inning. 7-6 the final score. Great baseball played in the last 2 innings, but the Sodbusters ultimately fall up short. We'll recap the game right after this on Sodbuster Baseball.
Core CPAs is your locally owned, full-service accounting firm. Our team of professionals have years of accounting experience and focus on building in-depth relationships with our clients. Our comprehensive and customized solutions are tailored to your specific needs. We pride ourselves in our commitment to integrity, objectivity, and professionalism. At Core CPAs, we provide tax services, payroll, bookkeeping, assurance and financial reporting, and much more. Visit our website at corecpas.us.
Blue Fork Kitchen features elevated comfort food in a family-friendly, fast casual environment. With a full menu, you can sit down for a nice meal or order online for pickup. From salads and wraps to burgers and steaks, Blue Fork Kitchen has your kind of food. Open Tuesday through Thursday, 11 to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 10 p.m., with a special brunch buffet Sunday from 9 to 2 p.m. Blue Fork Kitchen is located in the Cimarron Plaza, 38th and Osborne Drive in Hastings. Like them on Facebook.
Sodbuster Baseball is sponsored by Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC. It's one of the many ways Jerry and Greg Spady, along with their families and employees, have proudly embraced a passion for giving back to the community. The folks at Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC realize the importance of enriching and improving the lives of their neighbors. They've accomplished this through philanthropy and active personal involvement. Featuring the top new and used inventory in the region and a certified service department, Jerry Spady Chevrolet GMC, 2750 Osborne Drive East in Hastings, or at spady.com. Make your next pit stop at the Coach's Corner. A friendly staff and a deep lineup of snacks. You can find Coach's Corner in North Hastings on Osborne Drive East. More than just a gas station, Coach's Corner is the place to get delicious pizza made fresh for you and your family. Don't take our word for it. It's so good it'll be featured at selected Sodbuster home games this season. For a convenient and clean experience, be sure to check out the new convenience store in North Hastings, Coach's Corner.
A rough ending to a pretty good game for the Hastings Sodbusters as they fall by a score of 7-6 as the game goes to extra innings here. And credit to OAHE, they find a way to get it done with 2 outs. The Sodbusters had their opportunity to tie it and perhaps win it in the bottom of the 10th, but just unable to get it done, Ryan.
Yeah, it was a nail biter. My heart was pumping a little bit up here. We always love a good game here at Duncan Field, especially one that goes down to the wire in extra innings. But the free runner, say what you will, it's the same for both sides. Always, obviously, you get the visiting team batting first. They're able to get that run across first. But you still got to do the same if you're the home team, and you still have the same opportunity. Sodbusters looked like they were in prime position to do it, just not able to get it done.
As the Sodbusters end up falling by a score of 7-6, 7 runs, just 5 hits for the Zap. As they did not commit an error, the Hastings Sodbusters 6 runs on 8 hits. They commit the only error of the game. 2 of the 5 hits for the Zap coming in that 10th inning. The other of two of the other hits coming as part of a 4-run fifth. And you can say what you want about the 10th inning, but you look back to what might have been had the Sodbusters played a little differently in the 5th inning, and Hastings ends up falling today by a score of 7-6. So a tough ending today as we take you through the final line score of this one. Mentioned 7 runs, 5 hits for the Zap, 6 runs, 8 hits for the Hastings Sodbusters, and they did very little offensively between the 5th and the 9th. A special 9th inning as Hastings battles back to get it tied, and Hastings, how about Taylor Gill, the big 3-run double in the 9th inning to send it to extras for the Hastings Sodbusters.
You thought maybe Gill could get a couple in. He had a good series against the prospects, and he's been a breath of fresh air for the Sodbusters early going, and having him with that double in the 9th inning really just put the life back into the Sodbuster crowd. Just not able to finish the job.
We'll have some more numbers, but first, Vinny Carone, assistant coach, pitching coach for the Hastings Sodbusters. The initial impressions after that tough loss.
We competed hard for all 9 innings. Could have had some better at-bats, I think, in big moments, but they're big moments for a reason. They're tough to come through in those situations, and props to their guys made the big play when they needed to make the big play. But we also made some big plays to be in that situation. So some pros and cons on each side. A little bit of a bittersweet because obviously you lost, but feels sweet because we competed, we came back. That's something we haven't done a great job of all year. And this past week we've been doing a better job of coming from behind. So there's some improvement there.
Notwithstanding the 5th inning where they had that 4-run inning, Braden Mackey and Nico Riera combined for 4 2/3 of hitless shutout baseball with 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. A couple of guys who've struggled with command, albeit Mackey did hit a guy, but the run was charged to Juden. Seemed like they had a little bit better outing, and they're hopefully getting a little more confident on the mound.
Yeah, both those guys have had injuries historically, so they're trying to get back in the swing of things. Nico really looked very good today. I think that's the best we've seen him, going at guys, being aggressive. Mackey's still trying to find the fastball a little bit, but he has a pitch that he can throw for a strike, and even just talking to him, it's about trusting his arm right now and trusting that fastball, and that just takes time in innings, but he's still improving. At least has a pitch he can get for a strike, and if we can flash that fastball and not hit a guy when we do, we'll be in good shape, and he'll be able to get guys out just because he's so talented.
You mentioned the stick-to-itiveness, the competition level of this team. You're down to your final strike there in the 9th inning, 2 outs, just 1 on, 7, 8, and 9, which hadn't reached the entire night, all get on in advance of the Gill double.
Yeah, and that's just having good at-bats when we need to have good at-bats. I think we were pressing a little bit with that pitcher because he's kind of like throwing a knuckleball in there that's real slow and hard to sit back on, and he made some good pitches, but then finally we just fouled off a couple to get on base, a couple walks, and then obviously Gill has the big hit with the new pitcher on the mound, and that was huge. That kid's a great hitter. He's going to be a really good player at Ohio, so we're lucky to have him for sure.
And Josh Printer before that doubles down the left field line to get your other RBI to really begin the comeback in earnest, if you will.
Yeah, Printer's a competitor. We kind of know he's going to give us his best when the lights are shining and when we're in the biggest moment. So it's good to have a guy like that at the plate, and he obviously delivered when we needed him to. It was a great swing.
And for the Sodbusters, you know, they think they look out of it, but it was for the hitters. And by the way, I just want to say I called the Josh Printer double. Right before the pitch, I said there's a big gap down the left field line too. But going back to the pitching, like you mentioned, the guy throwing the knuckleball, how different is that for the hitters when you're facing a starter that was throwing 80, 85, even almost 90 at some point to a guy that's throwing 65? How does that affect the hitters at the plate?
Yeah, it's a huge adjustment. The first thing you do is you start lunging at it. The second part of it is it's moving a lot. The first guy had a lot of run to his fastball, like induced vertical break to try to like ride it up. It's one of those pitches that look like a rise ball, even though we know it doesn't rise. And then the next guy comes in, it's a knuckleball and it's sinking. And so just the vertical movement of it is a lot different, and then obviously the pace is different as well. So it's a big change. They very clearly left him in there for one time through the lineup, and he did a pretty good job, just a couple hit by pitches and a walk, and then obviously Printer with the big swing. So yeah, it takes time to adjust. You got to kind of get on time and on deck circle and mentally prepare for it before you get in there. So it takes a little bit of time, but I'm glad we figured it out and battled through it.
10th inning, you're probably right where you want to be in the lineup. You have Shires there at second. Get a walk from Jensen. Talk a bit about Cabranes up there. What was his approach? What were you trying to get out of him as you guys tried to lay down the sacrifice?
Yeah, Marcos can do it all. Very confident in him bunting, and I thought he laid down a very good bunt actually. but they obviously knew it was coming. We showed it twice before. He threw 2 balls, and there's a position player on the mound going to Gonzaga. So he's very, very athletic. That's something we probably should have thought about after they've seen the button twice, that he's going to be breaking, and he's a smart player. He knew where the button was going to go, and he was just on it. It was a good bunt and an even better play by the pitcher there. And like you said, we have Schreiers, who's a very, very fast base runner and a good base runner too. He got a good jump, but the ball just beat him. So tough break for us. We executed, but they just made a really good play at the end, which was the difference in the ball game.
And you still battle back, get the bases loaded, 1 out, have your opportunity, just couldn't quite get her done.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to just having a consistent approach at the plate. I think we got a little too big, trying to do a little too much in those situations. We kind of need to slow ourselves down and just let the ball come to us and let the pitcher come to us and then put a good swing on it and then let the results kind of go where they go.
Vinny Carone, we appreciate him coming up. He's the pitching coach for the Hastings Sodbusters as Hastings falls by a score of 7-6 as we continue to wrap up our numbers here in our post game. Mentioned Taylor Gill had that big 3-run double. He goes 2 for 5 on the day. Shires is 1 for 5. Cale Jensen earned the walk in the 10th inning, goes 1 for 4. Marcos Cabrera scores 2 times for the Hastings Sodbusters. Nick Jones 2 for 5, kept the game going with that little bloop single. He scored a run. Mentioned Anthony Chavez, he goes 1 for 5. He knocks in 2. He had the first 2 runs batted in as the Sodbusters jumped on top 2-0. Landon Gaz scored a run. Josh Printer with the RBI double and a run scored. He goes 1 for 4. Kyle Hiltbrandt, he ended up earning a hit batsman and scored for the Hastings Sodbusters in that 9th inning. But Hastings couldn't quite get it done. And you mentioned it, that the fact that Sodbusters had Juden on the mound to begin, Dalton Juden, but Mackey, Riera, 2 really solid relief efforts before Shaw threw well enough to win, but he ends up being the hard luck loser for the Hastings Sodbusters.
Yeah, and for the Zap, you have Mamarian, who's the pitcher there. Like we said, he's a 2-way pitcher. Not too often you see in the box score somebody charged with a blown save but still get the win, and that's what is on the scorecard for Mamarian tonight. So feel confident about the next few days going forward. You saw that they could come back against the bullpen, and like we heard, that was their ace on the mound. So we'll have to see what the Zap will throw at the Sodbusters the rest of the way, but hopefully, just hopefully, you have the toughest starter out of the way in Game 1.
So come on back. Games tomorrow night if you want to join the Sodbusters in person. Games at 6:35 both Saturday and Sunday. That'll do it for our stream today, as we appreciate all the folks who help out with the Sodbuster Baseball 9 innings of winning. A lot of fun. Mason Hendricks, our producer. For Ryan Valente, I'm Steve Stein. Final score once again, it was OAHE 7 and Hastings 6. I'm Steve Stein. This is Sodbuster Baseball.
Catch the spirit of the game. The Hastings Sodbusters.
Get the ultimate fan experience at a Hastings Sodbuster game this summer. Enjoy high-level collegiate summer wood bat baseball at the beautiful and historic Duncan Field in Hastings. Baseball and a whole lot more. Affordable family fun. That's what the Sodbusters and the Independence League are all about. Sodbuster Baseball. It's your team.
Catch the spirit